guitar. Money flipper, ice around my neck shine like the Big Dipper. Cup running over, man, but it ain't liquor. He done had it green for the deal, he a picker. Ice around my neck got me dripping like a sicker. Ooh, that ticker, my life, love the hood statistic. Now I'm in the limelight, get your grind right, then maybe you can shine right. My partner Fred almost shot a cop, that's a blind night. I remember cold nights, cheese in a jail cell. Why you talk behind my back? I'm living in a real hell. High simple dope sell, turn to a murder jacket. Cause in the streets, man, anything, it can happen. 30 rounds, walk up bustin' cause they know you packing. Put your trust in the gun, all you really slacking. Pray to God every day, he put that good in me. I keep 2 hitters on the road, that's the hood in me. But the hood good if my intention's not wrong. 10% go to God first, now my money long. Whatsoever a man think, then so is he. If you say you ain't gon' make it, then it's gon' be money flipper. Ice around my neck shine like the Big Dipper. Cup running over, man, but it ain't liquor. He done had a green for the deal, he a picker. Ice around my neck got me dripping like a sicker. Ooh, that ticker, my life, another hood statistic. Now I'm in the limelight. Get your grind right, get your shine right. 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 Get your grind right, get your shine right.
Yes, sir. Hey. Once you get your mind right, you can get your money right. Once you get your money right, you can do what you want in life. Always get the money cause the grind never stop us. Water on my wrist, need a janitor to mop it up. Chronicles of Juicy J, you should go and cop the book. Man, I miss putting money in my mama pocketbook. Me and Pat can make it out the trap, you can too. Giving up the saddest thing I ever seen a man do. The hustle gon' continue, I'm selling out the venue. I'm meeting with investors, that mean beef ain't on the menu. Water around my neck is like the deep blue sea. Not the wings, but we dipping once we get the blue cheese. What the fuck a nigga mean?
Money flipper, ice around my neck shine like the
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 153 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I am Norwood, as y'all affectionately know me. Good to see y'all on this beloved Saturday. Nah, it's not Saturday. It's Tuesday, and we had a holiday, so we don't know how to act, nor know what day of the week it is. What's good, my boy?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Up here, y'all know what it is. We do the pregame, then we do HBCU news around the culture, followed by basketball and football when needed. Gonna be honest, we are watching game 4 of the Western Conference Finals as we broadcast, so y'all know what it is. We have good conversations, good questions, all of those things. So let's start out with the pregame, man. We got a whole lot. That's a foul. No foul? There's a whole lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of fighting, a lot of baseball news. We actually probably going to have to... Did you highlight everything?
Nope. Well, I might have on accident, but there we go. Released.
So I think we're just going to skip actually to baseball because the videos from Fight Night on hockey are messing up. But one thing about hockey, though, when it comes to Fight Night, they have a dedicated cameraman that actually just is there in all white fatigue to blend in with the ice to look at the fight.
Yes, I will post all the fight stuff to Instagram here first thing in the morning tomorrow. With that said, that man, his fight cam, when they're delineating the responsibilities, camera 1 here, camera 2 here, camera 3 here, sky vision from above, and then there's little fight cam guy. Little fight cam guy's not a big guy, let me tell you, not very big, but he, like Reggie said, this man is dressed in all white. Do you buy him the ice fit? Or does he have to come to work dressed in ice material?
Well, no, I'm sure that's part of the benefits of being
also
there. That is something they gave him.
Why is it only in the predominantly non-black sports where fighting is heralded, supported.
Well, you want me to serious this out or no? I mean, we know why.
Well, I mean, we do, but I think that y'all like. I think the basketball should let people leave the bench going forward. And football players, it's a contact sport. You should let them fight. Why does hockey get to be the only people, and baseball occasionally be the only people to have all the fun? Let football and basketball. Those are the most equipped players when it comes to fighting.
Is it? Hockey
Yeah,
players are like
400.
6'4", 6'3", 200.
Yeah, but I think that the football fights would be way better.
Why? They got on. Why?
Because first of all, they're not on ice; they're just on grass with cleats.
That's a
So
melee.
yeah,
that. I don't think First off, we as a people don't really believe in the with strangers shooting a fair one. That ain't something. In hockey, they just kind of do their thing. Football, if you hit him, I'm gonna hit you.
Was it at the Rangers game? The first game was a gang fight immediately.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, let the Giants be the Crips and let the 49ers be the Bloods. And then let's get it on. Let somebody else get into this.
It sure would be fun. And you do have more people on the roster, so they'd be able to play.
Exactly.
That's when you just send.
But yeah, I just found it so funny that the man had to be dressed in all white. He was literally just skating around watching them fight. Like, nope, not gonna stop this at all. Now, nope, I'm not gonna serious this out either. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let people bite each other on the face. You know how I feel about it. Everything. But we're gonna skip over fighting and we go to what I would consider a holiday today.
Gee whiz.
Today is May 28th. It's a Tuesday. Angel Hernandez has decided to retire from the MLB. If you know Angel Hernandez,
sure,
you only know him because he sucks.
Decided my ass.
They
got him out of there.
He is, yeah. He has been the worst umpire, I would say, probably the last 5 to 10 years. He specializes in making some of the worst calls that you can make. The umpires union is the only thing that's been saving his job. He's done us all a favor and retired today, I guess. Now that he's gone, the second worst guy is about to get his ass kicked.
Well, the thing about baseball and everything is there is no second worst guy. They've all been ass. They've all like the umpire. Whoa,
worse.
What happened to you
In Major League Baseball.
Oh, there you go. They've been ass. The umpires have been ass the whole time.
He's been taking it to new levels.
No. Because there was somebody else that was just absolutely awful that had like he was it's not like Angel Hernandez was the worst and the second worst was way past him. They were all been bad.
Yeah. Now it's everybody has room for improvement. But what I will say is I think that they're understanding they get closer and closer to these robot umpires. And this is a pretty good job. So either we can fix this or we can be replaced by robots like all of us here in the next 15 years. Pick your poison.
I think they're out of there. I think robot umpires are there. Bro, you got to get Rudy Gobert out of the game. He is awful. Like, how can you? While I get all of this set up and fixed, I'm watching Rudy Gobert.
We can just get to talk about baseball here. And as much as we got good news, we got terrible news today. Ronald Acuna has suffered another torn ACL.
Left knee.
He said yesterday it was a non-contact injury. They were under the belief that it was maybe just a minor sprain. He said that it kind of felt like the last one, but just not as bad. We were extremely optimistic that there was a chance that he would be back at some point this season. And then early this morning, they released that he has torn his ACL The 2024 campaign for him is over, and
Some of the 2025 campaign too.
this is unfortunate.
The only it is unfortunate he got hurt. The Braves, for whatever reason, I don't know what we did in that 2021 season, but we cannot get out of our own way when it comes to injuries. We already lost Spencer Strider. Now we lost Acuna again. They called a foul. Yo, Dallas is frustrating to watch. Jesus. Did you freeze? Are you there, Norwood? Well, Chad, I hope y'all can see me because I don't see where Norwood is. Norwood, are you there, brother? Norwood, are you there? Are you speaking? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was sitting
Yes,
here.
yes.
God,
The only thing that I can ask is, man, win it for Ronnie, man. Do it for your boy. Outside of that, thoughts and prayers to him, his family, the entire Braves organization. He's one of the leaders on this team, and to see him go down with another, really, really tough injury. That's
unfortunately for Ronnie, he's due for a contract extension, in my opinion, or at least like he did the team a solid, which I don't think you'll ever see that again. But he did the team a solid by that deal twice. He did this, like him and Ozzy Albies basically did the team a solid by signing those deals, and then you were going to basically, the goal was to make him a Brave for life. By making him a Brave for life, that would have gotten him a 10-year, $350, $400 million deal. Now he's on his second season-ending injury, and boy, Cat, you are just soft. He's on his second season-ending injury, and the Braves would be smart if I were them to sign him to a 7-year extension, and basically backload it and pay him out of good faith for the first 2 years, 25 and 26, or 24
for the year of sitting and the rehab year. Hey,
and then it kicks in maybe a year after he gets back, because we saw that he was good. He was okay to come back a year, 11 months after his injury, but he really didn't hit MVP season to the year after he came back. So it's going to take him about 18 months to get to where he is. And if it takes him 18 months to get to where he is, you got to pay him. Otherwise, he's going to hold out.
And 18 months is aggressive, but Ronnie is not as young as he used to be. Your body takes, I assume if it was 18 months, now it's probably closer to 20, 22 months to get back to where you think you were. And after the second one, I'm sure you're going to have a certain level of anxiety that just comes with that. Shit, it's happened to me twice now. The first time is on you. Second time is is this a real thing? That could mess with your psyche. But more than that, the Braves have had 8 shutouts this season, which is, we've needed all 8 of them. It feels good to have. I mean, we're getting it done. I mean, our pitching staff ain't at 100%, and it's not really what I think we planned on it to look like. But we're getting it. We're getting along on the back of Marcell Ozuna hitting home runs and RBIs, and a piecemeal pitching staff.
Well, they just called up the number 3 prospect in minor leagues for pitching, which I assumed that they were going to do, because outside of Chris Sale, I think Charlie Morton has been up and down. And then we don't really have a third. We kind of piecemealing the third pitcher. You have to bring in somebody, because right now we're back to being a home run hitting team. We're not playing small ball. So we're either winning 9-1, 8-1, 6-2, or we losing 11-0, 9-0,
0,
4-0,
7-0. You're like, hey, stop. Matter of fact, we lost to the Nationals. and we were down like 6-0 in the second inning. I'm like, hey, I cut it on and cut it off real quick. Like, I don't know what to do.
Rudy Gobert
I
is
watched
awful.
it thinking, well, maybe if I turn it on, the juju will change. Nope. They had already got their ass whooped for that game. I was like, well, I can't do nothing with you. Good luck and Godspeed, my boy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna plod along. One thing that I do know and I trust about Alex Anthopoulos, he gonna find a way to figure it out. I have the utmost faith in him. And yeah, that's we are riding with our front office at this point, and their ability to be agile and continue to fix this.
Bro, you got to get Rudy Gobert out of the game, dog. So I'm paying attention, y'all, but I'm watching this game. Y'all know I've confessed my true feelings for Luka. I don't really like him at all. I respect him. He's great. He's a really good player. Got to be top 3 in the league right now. But playing him alone on talent is damn near impossible.
Yeah, top 3. Who the other 3? Who the other
league?
2? Pardon me, math.
Best players in the league. I mean, I don't know. Let me finish my thought. So he is one of the better players in the league, if not the best player in the league, top 3 easily. And he's difficult to defend just playing straight up basketball. When you add in the flopping, he's impossible to guard. It's impossible. I put him in the same category as Houston James Harden. I put him in the same flopping category as Jimmy Butler that year that they went to the finals. I put him in the same flopping category.
Trey, when before they delegated his move out, when
Trey.
he had that do.
Yeah, Trey. All of that.
Man.
All of that. And Luka's, you would assume, or you would say Luka's better than all of them. So then when you add in the flopping, it's like, bro, like what you supposed to do? Like you can't really guard him. And then he's gonna shoot over you, and then he gonna bang into you and get out the way. Look, that's a foul. He just went over Anthony Edwards' back.
Trey
that's
Young,
crazy.
Chasing step back. Oh my God! Now
But we're not talking about Trey. Wait, because you keep doing that. You always do that. You always take the conversation.
No,
with Trey. We're talking about Luka.
Wait, hold on. I was trying to finish. Like that, as terrible as it was to watch, he was so good with that. He get him in jail every time, and I'm like, stop! Run if you run behind Trey, all he's gonna do is stop. And I just watched. Like, oh, y'all might not like him, but y'all are stupid. And I keep watching y'all do the same stupid thing again. Oh yeah. Now this Luka,
it's frustrating, dog. Because I be like, man, he's gonna get 40.
And you know he's European, so it has the soccer flop on top of it.
Ooh.
He's a master manipulator.
He's the next iteration of Vlade. And Gilbert Arenas said it best. When you change the rules to allow more European players to flourish in the league, to grow the league, this is what happens. The way that you stopped all of that flopping before, or the way that you stopped European players from finessing the game before, we put them on, you play them tough. You can't do that no more. Like, I saw Luka do that move where dude was standing like that.
Like, I don't want to say no toughness, but reduced toughness. Because they out there kind of getting it right now. But I think that just like hockey should have enforcers, basketball should have. Like, I love Luka. Love it. One of my favorite basketball players to watch. Somebody should have slapped him by now.
And then he moves because he can flop, so you can't really like get in his face. So like he does that stuff where he sit there. I love talking trash, but I don't like talking trash when nobody can hit you. Like I don't like talking trash when you're being protected. Derek Lively has a concussion. They keep showing him, and he don't like even opening his eyes right now.
Yeah, he's out.
But yeah, sorry. Back to the pregame, man. It's hard to watch. I don't see Kyrie flop at all.
But Sha'Carri Richardson wins the Prefontaine Classic in her first 100-meter Olympic. I guess it's like a trial because she's already made it. And she just smoked him. I'm happy to see her in the win column again. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to talk about something else than all the social media, everything else. The one thing we've consistently asked is just, hey, man, go out and dominate. Everything else is ancillary. You're one of the best people in this sport, if not the best. Just go win a bunch of races, and then everything else will kind of fix itself.
Well, they were counting her out, and you discounted all of the stuff that
who
she was
counted her out?
when she got caught with the smoking, and when her mom died, and she had all of those social media posts, and a lot of people counted her out. A lot of people said it was over. Then she got smoked by the Jamaicans. Yeah, don't act like don't play that game like, oh, the media was her and she said no. She did a lot of talking, but a lot of people counted her out. And then she came back and finished 8th. She came back and finished 8th twice, and it was like it's over for Sha'Carri Richardson. Now she come back for everything. She out here smoking everybody.
Let me apologize for the people who thought that it was over for her. You are a fool. Yeah, I'm just waiting on this Olympic stuff to start rolling out, and yeah, she finna go crazy. Her bag is about to go through the roof. She's actually executing what I think that she should. Hey, right now, I just need to win these races, keep it real humble, and then when it's time for me to pop out about 2 weeks before the Olympics, you're going to see so much of me, you're going to be sick of me. And Nike, don't drop the ball on this one.
They're making
Braves
her
win.
They're making her. They're making
Ozuna
her.
hits another home run.
They're making Sha'Carri go Braves. They're making her she's now the focal point, and I think that's more of the, I wouldn't say surprising, but the redemption story. It's kind of like Kyrie. Like she's making the focal. She's the focal point. She's in all the commercials. She's on all the, hey, go watch Sha'Carri. Before, people were like, we don't even want to talk to her. Like, and it was like, dang, dog.
But that's the thing is she's going to have a polarizing. Everybody's going to have a feeling about her, whether it's good or bad. Everybody does have a feeling, and then we all know winning cures everything. And she probably gonna she's gonna get a couple, at least a few. I would assume she's gonna win 100 meters, and she's gonna win the 4x1. So yeah, once you win a couple gold medals, everybody gonna be like, oh, what? Smoking a little weed? Ooh, what? People care about that?
Now you don't care about it as long as you winning.
Now you can't smoke weed and then be like, oh, I failed an Olympic test.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't help you there, dog.
Yep. Moving on, man. Coco Gauff has been one of the quietly is kept, and I don't know if quietly is kept is the right saying for this, but she has been outspoken about the political state of the country for a while now. And she has called out Governor DeSantis. She's called out Florida in her statement at the French Open when she said it's basically hard to be a black person. It's hard to be a black person in Florida right now, referring to Ron DeSantis and referring to how more and more companies and minorities are leaving Florida or don't feel safe in Florida because of basically Governor DeSantis and his extreme policies and leadership of that state. I am very, very proud of Coco Gauff. She's very mature. I guess that's what happens when you are a 14-year-old professional. But she's very, very mature.
By the time you're 20, it's a walk in the park. Who do I need to talk to and what do I need to talk to them about at this point?
Yeah, but she's very mature for her age. So I'm very, very proud of her, man. I love that she called it out. And I wonder what will happen to her marketing-wise. Because, companies don't like to support people that speak out politically.
It's refreshing because I'm not the biggest person that everybody should be speaking about politics. If you don't know about it, then I'd rather you sit it out than say something stupid. Amber Rose.
Well, I don't. If you look for Amber Rose for any type of political anything.
You're right. But still, I just wish that sometimes people, if you don't know what you're talking about, you still, if you're uninformed, shut up across the board. But her ability to be polished, to be knowledgeable, and to talk about this from a reasonable point of view, and it not be salacious, it not be disrespectful, but it be honest and straightforward. Fantastic. We need more people. Once again, I'm gonna shout out a surely person who I did not think would do this, Emmitt Smith. He has been at the front of this. And we need more people, athletes specifically, man. Let's be real. When it comes to especially football, there's probably maybe only Texas and California who put out the same amount of athletes. And I still think that Florida per capita is putting out the best athletes.
Rudy. They
should be speaking on this. This is something that is going to affect all of us. And I'm happy that there's a 20-year-old that can do it, but there are people who are 20, 25, and 30, 40, etc., who should be helping her get her message to the forefront, because it is very serious, it's very real, and it's embarrassing to the state of Florida.
But I don't think Florida cares, though. Florida ain't never gonna care. As long as they keep voting DeSantis in, DeSantis. It always is funny to me when you read their names and understand their political stance. It's like, man, DeSantis is against immigration. DeSantis is against immigration reform.
Yeah,
DeSantis is against.
People get over here and they want to close the doors. Don't let down the rest of them.
DeSantis is against helping everybody else out. I'm like, come on, Ted Cruz. Your name ain't Ted. Your name Raphael. Like, what you talking about? Come on, man. What we talking about? Like, I don't understand that. And this is a sports podcast. We ain't gonna politicize y'all out, man. But I always think that's funny. That's funny to me.
We just, I mean, culturally, if you do that in the Black community, that don't go the best. But that also requires your community to call you out and stay on your ass. Like, bro, you what? Like, you said what? I know your grandma, bro. It's not from this country. You telling me that you don't want your grandma over there, bro?
But anyway, before we go, Takeru Kobayashi, who is widely accredited with popularizing the competitive eating sport. I wouldn't say it was just him. There was this other dude that just retired too. I think it was a white guy. I forgot his name. American guy.
Oh, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi have been the Glizzy Goblins for the last 20 years. If you ever, I forget what holiday. I think maybe it's 4th of July.
They do it every 4th of July.
They get up there and they do it. And I mean, I know that Reddy definitely doesn't call this a sport, competitive eating, but I can only imagine what it does for your body. I can't imagine eating 40, 50, 60, 70 hot dogs is safe by any means.
Or 250
but number one, I want to thank him just like I thank Joey Chestnut, because it is a feat to watch. And I can't say that I haven't watched it. I've watched this thing probably, if I've seen it 20 years, I'll probably watch it 15, 16, 17 times. It's just something to watch. But he did say in his retirement, he doesn't get hungry. And I was like, that's unfortunate. That, like, hungry is one of my favorite things. It's like, okay, I'm hungry. Now what do I get? Like, what do I get to eat? He has no urge to eat like that anymore. And from the sounds of it, he doesn't enjoy food, which is sad. But
so I only watched it 1 year. And it was him. And he was having trouble at the end of the competition. And it came out his nose, and he had to guzzle the water. Man. And I was like, that is enough for me, because he took it out of his nose and ate it. I was like, nope.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah, so I couldn't watch it. That was enough for me. But
you never thrown up at a football practice, basketball practice before?
I ate it after I threw up.
I mean, yeah.
So I will say he did popularize it. He made a lot of money. He was one of those guys that actually his stomach, like, it's the equivalent of having like a double jointed stomach. Like, his stomach sat in a weird position in his body, and then allowed it to expand more, which allowed him to then consume more food in a quick manner. So he did popularize it, and it was on SportsCenter, and they'd show it on ESPN Ocho and all of that other stuff. So
that's definitely a good Ocho show right there.
So shout out to him, man. At least he stuck with it, man. At least he stuck with it. I think that's it for the pregame, man. Yeah, that's it for the pregame.
That is.
We'll be right back with our HBCU news around the culture. Y'all stay tuned.
Put your glasses in the freezer. We drinking when basketball comes around.
I'm drinking water.
Oh,
We'll
everybody
right back.
drink tequila all weekend. Big dog.
We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
They tryna clear the smoke. 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 Switch it up. Having that bankroll ride. Smoked out, burned out life. Bitch, I threw back twice. Damn, I feel nice. What you feel like? Work some M's, right? Bitch, don't film, yikes. Bitch, wanna feel like this? Gotta build your self-esteem. Bitch, wanna feel like this? Gotta be sharp, gotta come clean. Bitch, wanna feel like this? Don't fuck with no rat straight cheese. Bitch, wanna feel like this. Let's go. Fuck we doing, what we on? Bitch, I'm a smoke detector, I be smoke. Don't take me home. The smoke ain't gone. They tryna clear the smoke on side. They even tryna clear the smoke a few times. Got the gang members on go. We might be having smoke. No, you can't stop that 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 smoke. No, you can't put out the smoke. No, you can't jump out the boat. Smoking like a new pope. They tryna clear the smoke. 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 If it's smoke, I will not run. If smoke ain't clear your lungs. Outside, I'm with my ones. Hell no, we don't do ones. Don't want no smoke by pussy. These bitches off of us. If smoke, I see you looking. Lost one, now I'm gon' buzz. Dog shit, divided by drugs, we all lit. Feeling like, making them sick. They bout to throw up. They can't handle, make them eat it up. Oh shit, is it smoke, is it love? Oh shit, is it smoke, is it love? Tell me what is it? Don't let the smoke get thick. Cause then it's up. They tryna clear the smoke on sight. They even tryna clear the smoke a few times. Got the gang members on go. We might be having smoke. Don't let the smoke get thick. 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 That's how the shit gets sticky. Don't let the smoke get thick. That's how the shit gets sticky. They tryna clear the smoke. They tryna clear the smoke. They tryna clear the smoke.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our HBCU segment. I'm sorry, I started that off all wrong. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 153 of the Splashcast, Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. You are in the right place to learn about historically Black colleges and universities.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Before we get started, do us a favor, like, follow, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Before we get started, man, I just listened to that what y'all posted for Drake. I mean OVO Mall. I'm sorry, OVO Mall. From Maul talking about Drake and defending Drake and all of that stuff. He made a lot of great points. So he said you would never hear of the Migos. I was like, now that That sounds like a New Yorker statement.
And I remember this specifically because I was still living in Atlanta at this point. Migos at this point, very, very, very regional, had not fallen onto the national scene. But that song was all over the radio in Atlanta. And if it's all over the radio in Atlanta, it was coming to your city soon.
It was all
And
over
Aubrey
radio in the
does
South.
what Aubrey does. Let
Mhm.
me hop right on this asteroid as it leaves the atmosphere and put my signature on it. And I'm going to rap like them. And I give him a lot of credit. He got right on Versace and murdered it in true Migos style. That song immediately went from like a regional hit that was going to make its way to the national to being on the national scene immediately. But Migos and Versace was going to be a hit because it's a
Regardless,
hit. Drake makes it an inferno.
Yeah, the stimulus package. You can't deny that. But when you start saying stupid stuff like when you start saying stupid stuff like you wouldn't have been who, we never would have heard of Rick Ross, we never would have heard of Kendrick, we never would have heard of Migos. You start saying stuff like that, it's like, all right, now that's why people call you. I ain't gonna say what they call him, but that's why they say you cape it. That mall.
I mean, but like Ross, yes, once again, Ross and Drake were great. Let's be real about that. But Drake wasn't no pushing to the limit. Last time I checked.
Port of Miami? You don't know nothing on Port of Miami if I don't remember.
Nathaniel. I still got a girl at $100 million. What'd he say? Now I'm gonna tell you who we never heard from again. Avery Storm. We never heard from him again.
Then that gets into the conspiracy.
But Rick Ross, like, come on, like people. That's the reason I've been a lot more subjective on who I talk to people about music and stuff. Y'all just say anything. Your opinion might not make a lick of sense, but hey, man, and unfortunately, and fortunately, I guess Amazon keep selling these mics to whoever got $100 to buy them, and then they get this camera, and then they believe that they can just say anything and it's legitimate. And I guess we have a podcast too, so.
But we talk about sports, man. HBCU news, y'all know what it is. News around the culture. It is spring sports, the end of spring sports. But before we get to baseball, there was a interesting conversation that was brought back up. So there has always been a discussion for, especially in football, but basically football and basketball, of HBCUs not leaving the NCAA, but creating their own super conference. And by creating their own super conference, having their own playoff, basically what the SEC is trying to do, create their own super conference, create their own playoff, create their own medium to play sports, because they're not getting the proper funding, the proper exposure, the proper, everything. They've been underfunded, underexposed, all of that. Somebody said, what if they had a mega conference that had an East, Southeast, Southwest, and South division? Because most HBCUs, I think they're all in the South or Mid-Atlantic. So you would have Howard. Basically, that they combined the SWAC and the MEAC, and then they threw in the best CIAA schools and you had to throw in some Atlanta schools. So they threw in the MEAC, the SWAC. They added Virginia State, Hampton, Morehouse, Clark. Is that Clark? Yeah, Panthers. Clark. And made it a super conference. How do you feel about that?
I got to do some calling around and asking, but I don't know what HBCU should have some type of council. And I assume that there is one outside of like the conferences, but there should be one that is all encompassing for all HBCUs. And that's where I think the majority of like HBCU business should be handled. We should be doing things as a coalition, as a committee. Hey, what's best for all of us? How do we save some of these HBCUs? How do we propel some of our top HBCUs into another stratosphere? And I think that should be a part of this. I've always been a big proponent of the homecoming, like weekend scheduling, so that we don't have a lot of overlap, so that you can have people who can support multiple HBCUs, and we could just do things a little bit more together. And these conferences will be a big step in that. But these schools are going to need to get together and either create something like that, or they're going to have to adhere to it a little bit better than they have in the past.
Yeah, I unfortunately I don't think that will ever be a reality, because the United States and the government and the educational system is never going to make the HBCUs whole. We've already shown that Tennessee State has been underfunded by $700 million. They've shown that FAMU and Florida HBCUs have been underfunded by 5 to 6, 7. It's almost like
Same thing with the North Carolina HBCUs.
North Carolina schools, and they underfunded them and then tried to absorb them into the North Carolina state school system. Same thing with Louisiana. Same thing with Georgia. I don't know about Georgia.
I would assume that Mississippi ain't doing right now. Let's be real.
Favre still ain't going to jail. so if you're not even gonna try to make us whole, they're not gonna fund any type of unity or anything. So at that point, the idea
no. I
is
think
wonderful.
I think that's on the responsibility of HBCUs. You know, you can't wait for somebody else to help you. That needs to be, hey, we need to have all of our representatives. If y'all can go in there and nope, not even gonna bring that up. But there is a way for us to get together as a collective, figure these things out. And there are HBCUs that are in desperate need of help. We should be trying to help those out. And then the ones at the top, we need to be propelling those. Because at the end of the day, when you get out of, our collective spaces that we're in, when we go to work, we're all on the same team there. And the more that we could work together, I think the better it will be. High tide raises all ships. I know y'all hear it from me and Reggie every week, but I mean, that's where we are.
Now, when you say it'll be on us, the way that you dismantle a minority-based system, or where the oppressed or the people that are the non-ruling class, is that you create division. So what they've done in the past is they'll fund a school, or they'll take schools and fund the schools that are better at money fundraising, like Hampton, Fisk, the elite, as they call it, the HBCU elite, the HBCU Ivy League, Rockefellers for Spelman and Morehouse, all of that, and then they don't give any money to anybody else. So you still have but they're saying we helped y'all. But so what it would be for us is you have to figure out a way to start an HBCU endowment and take that money and disperse it where it's necessary. You can still get your money, but you need to take it a percentage of your money and put it in an HBCU endowment to help. That to me is the only way you're gonna do it, because if that, you're gonna have to help each other. You can't depend on anybody else. Didn't mean to serious.
But I would like to see this. I mean, and that's not everything. Isn't, I don't consider that serious. That's a topic that makes things better. And that's the conversation we look to have. So I think that I never considered an HBCU endowment. I think that's a really good idea. And you're right that like we have to have a vested interest in each other if we are going to be successful.
Moving on, man. Shout out to Grambling State. Grambling State punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. They came to Atlanta and won the SWAC baseball championship. They will play Texas A&M. They won it this past weekend. I believe they beat Jackson State, if I'm not mistaken. They beat Jackson State 6-5 on Sunday at Rush Chandler Stadium. So shout out to Grambling, man, going to the tournament.
Hey, man, and this is your opportunity to ruin somebody's day. It's baseball. Y'all gonna be out there. Go win you one, man. Go win you one. That needs to be the singular focus is, and we've seen it happen so many times here recently. It's almost every week that an HBCU is upsetting a Power 5 top tier baseball school. So we're in full support. Go Grambling. And yeah, Texas A&M. Best of luck having a better day other than when y'all play them.
And also, one thing about this SWAC championship, baseball championship, I wish it was a wedding weekend for me. My godbrother got married. Salute to Gerald and Ashley, and the Smith family. So I wasn't able to attend, but there were a lot of great plays out there, including Ty Jackson. Ty Jackson had a home run robbing catch for FAMU that saved the game for them, and it was definitely the catch of the weekend. If y'all have a chance to go look at it, it would be awesome.
Hey, my boy, go ahead, get that one framed. Go ahead, get that right on the wall as soon as possible. You need to put that one up asaptually.
Yep,
that one
asaptually.
it's one for the ages. Hey, y'all remember? And I'm putting that up in the locker room. Somebody gonna be mad.
What, fam? Y'all need to put that in the athletic department. That's a crazy catch. That definitely should be a mural on the locker room. Like, it should be a poster. Yeah, like that should be a promotion. So shout out to Ty Jackson. Shout out to FAMU. Shout out to all of them, man. It was a great showing. There were a lot of highlights. Again, salute to the SWAC social media team. They post everything all the time. They make sure they keep you informed. So shout out to the SWAC media team, man.
And that makes it. We're not the only HBCU podcast in the world, even though we are the absolute best. Like, follow, subscribe. Make it easy for other avenues in different places to report on your message. That's all they want to do. They want to support you, but trying to track down the information, damn near impossible some days.
Miak.
Oh, yeah.
Please,
Miak and Hampton, we talking to you.
To you. So, but look,
don't look left. Don't look right. Hit you, my boy.
So we'll have some more information coming. It is now going to be track season, Olympic qualifying season. A lot of the HBCU athletes are going to start qualifying. If they haven't already, they'll be in qualified years for qualifying heats to go to the Olympics and go to Paris. So we'll keep you guys updated on that, because that's always a big deal. With that being said, that was a great discussion on the HBCU Super Conference. We've come to the end of the HBCU segment. We're going to get into some basketball, WNBA, NBA, and then we'll get to some football. Y'all stay tuned. Remember, they can like, follow, subscribe. We will be right.
And it is time to do a little drinking. Just a little bit. We're going to have some fun today. Talk about some basketball.
H2O for your boy. H2O. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
No, come on. Big dog. Big tequila. Big tea. Come on.
Shout out to Gina. I can't drink with them young kids no more. Had me slump 36 hours.
Oh, now you OG.
Oh, yeah.
Do you prefer or OG?
It don't matter. Just don't give me no more liquor. I don't care what it is.
Hey, young blood. You got it.
I already know ordered my grilling sandals. I was on the grill. Yeah, I already know ordered my grilling sandals. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Weird. Walk around talking about shit you hear. When the gang pop out, niggas in fear. When his bitch got knocked, he was in tears. Huh? What? You niggas weird. I be jobbing some shit that I can't steer. A nigga was shooting so close I can't hear. Gang going dumb like gang got a career. Gang in his bitch going dumb. Gloves in his bitch with a gun. The ops up one, we up some. And I'm still outside having fun. You niggas bumps. Weird ass nigga in your feelings about these bitches. Weird ass niggas off that perk, you be tripping. I'ma tell you about yourself and your weird ass gon' listen. You be on that bullshit, Scottie Pippen, you a weirdo. Fucking on weird hoes, nigga weirdo. We don't go near those, nigga weirdo. Your whole life in limbo. You bitter ass niggas be sweet like Cheerios. Weird ass nigga, you niggas lame. When it's smoke, don't ever mention my name. You gon' have me jeopardizing my fame, jeopardizing the game, jeopardizing when you hate, nigga. Huh? What? Niggas weird. Walk around talking about shit you hear. When the gang pop out, niggas in fear. When his bitch got knocked, he was in tears. Huh? What? You niggas weird. I be driving some shit that I can't steer. A nigga was shooting so close I can't hear. Gang going dumb like I ain't got a career. Huh? What? Niggas bitches. Disrespect as fuck, I'm crossing limits. No motion when y'all pop out as crickets. Coming up short in life, niggas midget. I don't wanna hear it, not even a snippet. You ain't power rules, I'm talking power rule business. Fucking on your bitch, the power rules did it. We ain't never gotta be cool, I'm bull with it. Niggas weird, equivalent to bitch. Niggas weird, take that as a diss. Niggas weird, they ain't on shit. Point the 40 at it, nigga, till it click, 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 click. Niggas weird, pillow talking to hoes. You don't support the bros, you ain't living by the code. Niggas weird, acting tough, that's bold. When shit got active, that bitch, nigga froze. Huh? What? Niggas weird. Walk around talking about shit you hear. When the gang pop out, niggas in fear. When his bitch got knocked, he was in tears. Huh? What? You niggas weird. I be driving some shit that I can't steer. A nigga was shooting so close I can't hear. Gang going dumb like I ain't got a career.
Weird. Not functioning properly or as expected. Unstable, broken ass nigga.
Gotta shooting jump shots before a ball, gotta warm up. 1942 shots, got her throwing up. Rich niggas, bad bitches all around, got it going up. 6 foreigns outside, back to back when we stroll up. Yo, bitch know I'm going up. The block know I'm going up. My boys know I'm going up. My ice, I'ma throw it up. Rich niggas, bad bitches all around, got it going up. 6 foreigns outside, back to back when we stroll up. 6 foreigns outside, it's just me and my compadres. Crew of bad bitches with as bad as Beyonce. I got hitters around me and they gon' do whatever I say. I still can call the plug and get whatever off of my face. We in here shooting jump shots, the quiet for the storm, we finna dumb out. There's motion pictures every time we come out. The money's similar to water, cause it don't run out. The ice look like Voss, you fucking with me, nigga, thumbs down. Skirt off in that TRX, looking like a monster truck. We look like the new BMF, and ain't nobody sponsor us. Got every different Prezi boy, Barack, Biden, and Trump. If you really ballin', throw some motherfucking bands up. Nigga jump shots before a ball, gotta warm up. 1942 shots, got her throwing up. Rich niggas, bad bitches all around, got it going up. 6 foreigns outside, back to back when we stroll up. Yo, bitch know I'm going up. The block know I'm going up. My boys know I'm going up. My ice, I'ma throw it up. Rich niggas, bad bitches all around, got it going up. 6 foreigns outside, back to back when we stroll up. Got a pea gumbo, finna sit here and roll up. The squirt a pea walk, I'm finna pour me a cold cup. I gotta meet my quota, I'ma grind for the whole month. If you thought that we'd ever fall off, you don't know.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 153 of the Splash Cast. Looks like Dallas is, they call it offensive foul. Looks like Dallas is about to close this one out. They got the lead, and you know when Kyrie and Luka get the lead, that's pretty much it. That was a
Hope
foul.
y'all have fun.
That's it. Let's get to some basketball, man. Let's get to some basketball. So, a few things. We're gonna start out with the WNBA. Feels like with the WNBA, all you've heard is Caitlin Clark. But there's a whole lot of popularity and growth in this game for the WNBA, starting in Los Angeles. I think this is a testament to the growth of LA. I also think of the Sparks in the WNBA, and it's also a testament to how bad the Lakers are. The Los Angeles Sparks have had a higher crowd last Friday of 19,103 people when it was Caitlin Clark versus Cameron Brink versus the Lakers, who had a crowd of 18,997 that was their largest crowd. So
yeah, this to me,
sorry, I'm watching the game. Yeah, so
is exciting because the Sparks have been a good team for a long time. You know, let's not forget about their time with Lisa Leslie, etc. But at this very point with Cameron Brink, who I told y'all I think is the marketing star out of this, her showing up at the right time in a city that's struggling through basketball right now is probably a breath of fresh air. You got PG and Kawhi for whatever reason just not healthy when the Clippers need them. And then the Lakers are in a state of permanent dysfunction because they spent too much money on Anthony Davis. So to see Cameron Brink come in and be a breath of fresh air to the city of LA, who, they're typically pretty good about supporting the people in their city. Her being a California girl, she went to Stanford, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. This is a great one to get behind. And she's already
her godparents or something like that. So
yeah, she's interwoven with the Currys, and she won a game. Like she had a block that won a game already. And she's also just not getting the Lonzo Ball treatment like Caitlin Clark is. So this is a good time for the Sparks and the Lakers. Maybe y'all should go to some of them games and understand how to play team basketball. Did I say that out? My bad.
No, so shout out to that. That was pretty good, man. I will say the WNBA is overexposing. I don't know if you could say overexposing, but like they are focusing solely on, I ain't gonna say solely, but they are putting 99% on Caitlin Clark. They are viewing her as the Michael Jordan savior of the WNBA, or the one that's going to take them to the next step. And what they're missing is Cameron Brink is a really, really good basketball player. And also, you see what with Angel Reese. Angel Reese, they painted her as a villain. And now she's probably the one that has flourished the most and had the easiest transition into the WNBA from college. So she's been playing well, and she also talks a lot of trash. So she got into it with Alyssa Thomas, where I'm sure you've seen it on SportsCenter and all over Instagram and everything, where she got thrown to the ground, not once, but twice by Alyssa Thomas, who was basically trying to send her a message. And instead of getting angry, Angel Reese said, it is what it is. They don't give a damn if I'm a rookie. They're not supposed to be nice to me or lay down because I'm Angel Reese. They're supposed to play me tough. Now, it was a dirty play. Angel Reese is known to hustle. She's known to play tough. She's known to talk trash. And when it comes to it, some of those other players in the league don't take well to that. Also, it's a little bit of jealousy in there. I think it's a little bit of jealousy in there.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things. Number one, Angel Reese, I appreciate you coming in right with the I don't expect this to be easy. I don't expect people to be nice to me because I'm a rookie. The girl came and she got fit. Teed up.
Slayed yourself.
All right. Yeah. Slow it. We begin to rock. Okay, we're back. But I hate that every time that the women get physical and there's any type of brush up, then everybody's uber sensitive. Well, what about this? Let them play. Rudy just stood over Derrick Jones Jr. at 8 feet tall. Nobody, this will be a blip on the game at the end of the game. Now, do I think that he's probably going to get a tech here? Yeah, he probably deserves it. If you're 7 feet tall, you're walking up on a person who's 6'6". You know what you're doing.
Derrick Jones walked up on him now. He didn't walk up on Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones walked up. Rudy ain't walk up on nobody. Rudy is.
Yes, but look where Rudy was and look where Derrick Jones was. Derrick Jones did not move a lot. Rudy came to him, and that's the reason he put his hands up. Like, no, you don't get to walk over here and be 8 feet tall and put your hands up. No. And I don't care. I punch you in the nuts. Don't matter to me, Rudy.
That should be a double foul, double tech, but whatever. But back to the WNBA, man.
But hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
But back to my original point is let these girls play basketball. Damn. Let them play. Just let them play. If they get physical, great. That's what happens in the sport of basketball. People push people and people don't like it. That's it. Move on. My bad.
And one thing I like about the Chicago Sky is they have embraced the Angel Reese and because Cardozo, even though she's hurt, she don't back down from nothing either.
She'll be back June 1st, baby. Couple of days away.
and the Chicago Sky beat the New York Liberty. And, you know, the New York Liberty is the number 2 team in the league, and Angel Reese had an and one over God, what's her name? She's reigning
and
MVP.
then just stale faced her like, okay, what's good, buddy?
And then the Chicago Sky Twitter said, "We Liberty, Bibberty, Cedric Diggory, we don't care about none of that or your little undefeated streak. Shout out to the Chicago Sky for winning. Embrace it. You got to talk trash. You got to make it competitive. And the fact that she embraced it and she's embodying what that team is, that's playing. That's what you need.
Yeah,
that to me will grow the team, grow it more than anybody else.
And that's the reason I hate when people who've never played the sport talk about the sport. Because, bro, this does not really matter. Okay, you got into it. You want to know what happens at practice? Y'all think this is bad, and these people are not even on the same team. Practice is worse. And those are your teammates. It's life. I'm trying to win. You're in front of me. I'm going to do my damnedest to win. And if y'all don't, if we don't have these type of competitors, then what are we doing this for? Shout out to Angel Reese. Cardoza comes back, like I told you, on June 1st. I'm excited to see what they look like. Cardoza, you should have a pretty easy transition. Angel already holding it down. Y'all two together should be just monstrous front court. And I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And I will say, Shot, if you haven't had a chance to watch a WNBA game on a local broadcast, Chad Ochocinco was talking about on his podcast with Shannon how he went to the Atlanta Dream game. And he said he didn't know what to expect because if you listen to the media, it's boring or it's not a lot of people or whatever. It's always something negative to say or they had something negative to tell him. He went there and said he had the time of his life. And the local broadcast shows Cheyenne Parker Tyus basically had her sitcom moment where she broke the fourth wall while getting an explanation from the ref. So she's talking to the ref like this. She's talking to the ref, and the ref says something wild, and she goes and looks directly in the camera at the broadcast like, bro, get out of here. That's the type of media awareness that is going to grow the game more than anything else. That was hilarious.
That not only was that hilarious, you have to be. It's the only person I've ever seen to be able to do that in sports is the one track lady who always finds the camera, and at the end of her run, she always does something which got her into like sports broadcasting. She nailed that. But Cheyenne, if y'all are Office fans like I am, if you've ever seen an episode where Jim breaks the fourth wall and just looks typically when Dwight does something stupid, she nailed this shit. It was so on point, and the look was just like, first of all, this referee is giving me a bunch of BS, and I don't believe any of it.
I don't believe it. That's what I got from it. I don't believe nothing you saying.
And all of us who work regular jobs, we feel like this at least once a day where somebody says something, and you like, are you talking to me? And you think I would believe that?
You can't be talking to me. Like, you can't be talking to me. It was a great atmosphere. I actually went back and watched that game that Ochocinco was talking about. It's a great atmosphere. The best thing the WNBA did was go to smaller, because they were playing in the NBA arenas, and then they went to smaller arenas, so it created a frenzied atmosphere. And now that the game is growing, they now get to go to the bigger. We just talked about LA Sparks, right? They get to go to the I was gonna say the Forum, Lord, Staples Center. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, whatever. I
mean, but it's the same thing with the Dream when the Fever come. That you're now building the need, the anticipation, the interest, and now people want to show up. Now you're right. You go from a smaller venue where I think they play right now, the same place as the College Park Skyhawks, which is perfect. And then, all right, well, I can step up on certain nights. We're going to have a big crowd. Then, let's make some money. And I know that the season ticket salespeople, as a person who used to do that, I know they surely happy as hell about having the easy games. And on the games where you're not, like, trying to sell tickets, especially, like, groups and stuff, is tough. And you want it to look like it's packed so that when you bring other clients out, they're like, oh, this is packed. It's tough to pack up State Farm for a Dream game. That's a tall order for most people.
especially when you're starting out. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that. I think honestly,
And I'm happy they're like more of these mid-sized venues.
if you look
they
at
help
it,
the HBCUs out the same way. Like we're in the same ish category of
Trying
don't
to
put us
get
in the
more
biggest
notoriety.
venue possible. So we have to cut off the upper bowl or whatever it may be.
I think the UFL, if they really want to grow, need to go watch how the WNBA is operating, because they are able to absorb the growth in popularity they have because they had a plan. And I don't know if that plan was 5 years ago, 2 years ago, but I know it had to be in place by the time Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in this draft class came.
I agree with that, but I feel like more sustainability, they need to be trying to figure, like they need to be trying to be the G League. Like the feeder league,
NFL
there's a
don't
lot
wanna
of
do that,
value in that.
They want to. Not to go on a tangent, but The Rock and the owners all presented this to the NFL, and they was like, nah, no. Because then that also, and I don't think it was just the NFL, because you'll have the same problem that the NBA had with the G League and college basketball. So if you try to start, because then they'll start paying athletes to just go straight, and you could get called up at 19 to go play in the NFL versus you have to stay for 2 to 3 years. So I don't think they'll do that.
I agree with that, but I think that, like baseball, they're not abandoning theirs ever. And they have 3 teams to support: single A, double A, triple A. But I think that there is value in, and as a person who's worked for a single A baseball, a minor league baseball team, like ticket sales wasn't rough for us. Like we were selling out a lot of games, but we had a good system. We had, at that point they were run by Rivka Athletics. So as long as you do it the right way, there is a lot of value in having a JV team.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So if
If
y'all get
done
a
the right
chance,
way.
if y'all get a chance, man, y'all go watch the WNBA. The league pass ain't expensive. The team.
Thank you. It's $36. Pay for it.
Go. The games are very, very competitive. There's very few outside of the Las Vegas and New York. There's very few blowouts.
Yeah.
So
And if you're going to watch Vegas or the Liberty, you're going to watch the best female basketball players on the planet play. The Vegas Aces, they just cut the rookie.
Well,
They're
and
like,
that was the next thing.
sorry.
Your support will also generate income so that more players can play, because they're cutting lottery picks, not because they're not good enough, because there's just nowhere else. There's only 12 teams. So is
there a world where like all the like?
Well, the
I
Knicks
feel
just
like
said
everybody
no.
else should just go to one team.
The Knicks just said no. I feel like every NBA team should have a WNBA team.
I
should
agree
be
with
it.
that. I understand that might not be sustainable. And the reason that the Knicks hate it is because they have a lawsuit with Toronto, and the team that they got is a Toronto team, even though it's a different ownership group. Y'all know the Knicks and James Dollars they be on whole shit.
Oh,
But
Jesus, Dallas.
but just I guess to me, like all of those good players that don't make a team,
Never mind, it's not a flop.
send them, have a tryout at the end, and put all of those players on one team.
Yeah. Well, no. But I mean that's cool, but that's not gonna happen. But they've got to figure out a way to. That's one thing. That's their next. I will say the WNBA has had a list of things that they want to do, and they've just checked off the list. The next is to facilitate growth and expansion. I don't know how they're gonna do it with more teams, because they got to generate more revenue first.
Well, they got to go to State Valkyries in Toronto. The Toronto team.
Pterodactyls.
But
Taros. The Taros.
whatever it is, they're
Toronto
going to get
BBLs.
another team. So that's 2
Nah, you
more
can't say
teams.
that.
I think that brings it to either 13 or 15.
14.
But yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of states like Utah. Utah should have a team. All the states like that or the cities like that don't have anything, Utah will sell out WNBA basketball all day.
I think Alabama would. There's nothing, and when a state that doesn't have any competition is where you should go.
Yeah,
At least,
I agree.
And even if you do that, like Memphis,
You
or
got to be a lazy sorry mother to not go to the one thing in your town. That's all we got.
and then you can leave. I mean, you can leave. I
Yeah.
mean, but that's how you do it. But again, if you have a chance, go watch the WNBA. Let's move on to the NBA. Before we start talking about the playoffs and everything, we're gonna say RIP. Got some news that Bill Walton, one of the bigger personalities of the NBA over the last 50 years, has passed away after a bout of cancer. He was in his 70s. So RIP to Bill Walton. I forget all of the nicknames he's had. He's been called the broadcast hippie, the red, was it the red? He had red hair at one point before he got older. So RIP to Bill Walton.
I mean, for me, when I think of Bill Walton, I think of like a job well done, life well lived. He's put his imprint everywhere he was, whether when he was playing with the Trailblazers or whether he was commenting. He's just always had a larger than life personality. He's brought so much happiness, laughter into other people's life. That's what I hope that when I leave here in many, many moons from now, that I can say that I've done the same thing. So he just looked like a cool guy that had a lot of fun.
The positive thing, if there is anything positive that comes out of death, it's that all of the things that you did in the dark, that you were at philanthropy-wise, comes to the light. Bill Walton and his wife and his family, there are so many people coming out of the woodwork saying how he helped them. Saying how they helped them, how they gave money, how they funded scholarships, how they gave to the needy, how they fed the homeless, how they started anything. And the fact that they never said anything. I always respect people that do things without wanting the glory. So shout out to Bill Walton. He's one of the funnier people. I always said Bill Walton had to be one of the best negotiators of all time because Luke kept getting all them jobs as coach. And I was like, bro, he ain't never coached. Now he coaching Golden State. I was like, Steph Curry, he's 33.
He had the best internship in NBA history.
But so RIP. And also, I will say, I admit it, I didn't really respect Bill Walton as a player. I like, man, all I know is that he had broke knees. I didn't know nothing. Man, they started showing before he got hurt. Like before he got hurt. Oh my God.
Legitimate killer.
He was legit. I mean, anywhere 10 feet inside the paint, dotted line, inside the free throw line.
Oh yeah.
It was it. And he was hitting he played like a 7-foot Luka almost. He just didn't dribble because you didn't dribble back then. As 7-footers didn't dribble like that back then. But he was passing. He was a problem. And unfortunately, knee injuries kind of zapped his career. But he was a monster. Go back and look at Bill Walton highlights. And it's a reason Portland loves him. He's got their only championship.
Loved him. It did everything to try to keep him. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah. So RIP Bill Walton. All right, man.
All right. Here we go. Buckle up.
Playoffs. Here we go. We're going to start out with the series that is over. Celtics Pacers. Celtics sweep the Pacers 4-0. I have not seen so much hate for a team that was hurt in the Pacers than I've seen come out of New York. The New York Knicks fans hate the Pacers. It is a rivalry that I thought was kind of going to die down when everybody – they called a foul. They called that was going to die down. Nope, they hate each other. We know that the Celtics – Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Averaged 30 points, was kind of redemption for him. He had a little bit of smoke with Miles Turner. You see that little quote he said? Miles Turner is a good kid. Miles Turner older than you. He called him a good kid and said his daughter was watching, or his girl was watching, so that's why he was acting tough. You got to smack him next time you see him, by the way.
No, you don't. Because you got one guy who does the internship for NASA and the other dude is a Lego guy. You both are good kids from good families, bro. Just let that be. Like, I hate this. That, like, everybody suddenly is gangster killer tough. No, you are two good humans raised by two good families. You are smart guys who play basketball.
That went to college. That are do good in their community.
Yeah, and did good in college. Did real well in college. You was going to class.
I didn't think about that.
Jaylen Brown, you was the guy you were probably the guy in the very front of class asking the teacher questions like, well, what do you think about this? Which is cool. I support that, but don't. It's like no, we're not doing that now. Not doing that.
So
He's a
now-
good kid. Y'all are good kids. Y'all was in the same Boy Scout troop. Now
Oh, I didn't think about that. So
we're not doing that anymore. No, man. I know what high school you went to, Jaylen Brown. You went to Wheeler. It's a good suburb. It's a good suburb.
So,
My
so
brother
back
is
to-
an alum of Wheeler. I know. I have multiple friends who are. Y'all got a great basketball program. Shout out to Abdul Rahim's out there.
Yeah,
Sharif and Abdul, but tough, no, dangerous, no, not none of that. No, just y'all gotta
But,
stop, bro. That's it.
with the a lot of people are criticizing the Celtics for playing 3 hurt teams. They played Miami.
It's not their fault.
They played the Pacers and they played Cleveland. First off, I'm gonna say this: whether them teams were healthy or not, Boston was gonna be the heavy favorite, not the favorite, not the 4-3 favorite. They were gonna be the heavy favorite. Now Donovan
And
Mitchell,
as bad as the Pacers was hurt, the Knicks was hurt worse. What you? You were not playing a healthy team, Bucko. That was not in the cards for you.
and you got to realize also, I mean, we talk about how they only got 4.5 players. Them 4 players played well. They were able to absorb the loss of a center.
Al Horford at 85 years old hit 7 threes. And I'm like, Miles Turner, that 35 is looking closer to 30 million. I'm just going to tell you. And before we get too far, Knicks fans, y'all are suckers. Y'all are suckers. Y'all butthurt because y'all lost to the damn Pacers. The only person who you should be mad with is Tibbs.
Tom Thibodeau.
Tibbs beat you, not anybody else. There's only one person on the Pacers that you can be like, you know what, I really just don't like that hand.
Halliburton.
No. Halliburton has never, minus that hoodie that after y'all lost. Halliburton's not the only person on that team who you can look at and be like, you know what, you have a punchable face, TJ McConnell.
And ironically, he's probably the person they need to get.
Exactly. Outside
He's a
of that,
Knick.
like, you mad with Tyrese Halliburton for what? Miles Turner, Mr. Lego Man,
Oh, what a flop.
Obi Toppin. You mean the guy y'all had? Like, there's nobody like Knicks fans. Y'all are just butthurt and y'all are weak. Are y'all like y'all mad with the Pacers? Are y'all okay with the Celtics? Like, is that what we doing now? Y'all rooting for the Celtics? Is that?
No. See,
I
and
can't-
that's why I like
can't
us.
imagine there's a.
That's why I like us. I don't root for none of y'all suckers. It's Hawks and everybody else. I just want to see a good game. If y'all could all lose and it could be 0-0-0-0-0, I'd be happy. I don't want nobody. The only person I'm going for is
I don't
Edwards,
want-
and he about to lose anyway.
I'm not the ultimate hater like that. Like, I would have been perfectly fine with the Pacers winning. They're a young team. Nobody there.
They're
I
fun to
hate.
watch,
But
yeah.
like, I'm not actively rooting for the Celtics, even though I love Embiid. I just don't want to see. I don't want to see the Sixers win. I don't want to see the Celtics win and have to deal with your sister and her shit. Who else?
Oh, yeah,
I
'cause that's
wouldn't
coming.
want to deal with.
Just let you know
the
that's coming.
Knicks. Oh, the Knicks. The Knicks would have been insufferable had they won. Like, that's really what it does for me. Do your fans have any level of common sense? Pacers, I don't run into a bunch of Pacers fans, so not a terrible fan base to me.
You're not gonna run into a lot of Pacers fans. Now the Pacers going into the offseason do have an interesting offseason coming up. They do get Benedict Mathurin back. They are going to they gotta pay. Every time we forget about Siakam, he was averaging like 27 in the series. I mean, he was out there playing tough. So they got to go ahead and max out Siakam, but they also got to keep Miles Turner.
Let's see what we got here for the Celtics. 39 minutes, 19 points, 8 of 18 from the field, 0 of 3, 10 rebounds though, 3
Who you talking
assists.
Pascal?
Siakam, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 28 points on 13 and 17. Damn. I mean,
remember, but he was also the only one out there for them last 2 games. Like, they didn't have any other offensive weapons.
So it's interesting to me because I kind of see where you're like, yeah, max him.
I hate
But
Dallas.
he 30 years old. Whoa. What
That's
is a
his last
max?
contract.
Like, are you telling me? So you paying him?
No, I'm
$40
not.
million?
But that's what he wants. That's what. Are you gonna let him go? He
If
fits
he
very
wants
well with that
anything
team.
more than $35 million, I'm looking for a signing trade.
Ain't no who. If you ain't gonna pay him, why you think somebody else gonna pay him? Unless you're gonna send him to Detroit.
Because yes. Detroit, Washington.
But
you
the
know,
Pacers are set up for
especially-
success because they're so
Now,
young.
and I guess this is kind of the time to talk about it. Can we go to the money situation real like the well, I'll wait. We'll wrap that up at one point. But I'm not sure. You start talking more than $37 million.
Yeah,
You're talking yourself away from me.
Pascal might as well go back to Toronto for that. So I'm looking for
Yeah.
Boston. You better
And,
win it
and
this
I'll
year.
get you right on back to give me
Anybody.
yeah, Grady Dick.
I don't know what they're gonna do with him personally.
Oh, he's gonna be fine. He just needed some time to figure out how to shoot. He's 6'6", 6'9", pass, dribble, rangy guy. Yeah, he'll be fine. Or it'll be plenty of people who'll be more than happy to take him off their hands. It's interesting to see what the market on a 30-year-old guy who has only won a championship next to Kawhi Leonard, where he wasn't. Like, Pascal Siakam has never been the leader and a team be good at the same time.
Yeah. He's never been the leader, but he's a damn sure good number 2. He's a
Yeah,
damn
but
sure
I feel
good
like
number
the number
2.
twos need to get paid about $35 million unless you're Devin Booker. But I'm not paying you 40, 45, $50 million to be
and also if you're gonna, because you got to pay Miles Turner. You got to pay Miles Turner.
He's another guy who, like, how about y'all all split up this money so y'all can have a team?
Because they there.
You're either gonna split
They
this,
are there.
You can either, we have a foundation. We could all split this money up and have enough money for everybody to gain generational wealth and be good. Or
Luka.
We can look at these draft picks. But what we can't do is pay you $40 million. I pay Miles 30, I'll pay Pascal 35, and Pascal, you on a 2 and 3.
Yep.
I'm not signing you 4 or 5 year deal.
So we'll see what they do because we got a lot to talk about. We'll see what they do. Boston, I will say Boston, y'all better win it. Y'all got to win it this year because I don't think that team gonna stick together. But if you gonna win it, you get Porzingis back healthy. They say he's gonna be ready for game 1. You're gonna get Porzingis back. You got Drew Holiday has found his defensive self again. And I will say they look good. That 5 they got looks good, but they got to figure it out.
Porzingis being back changes things.
Especially if they play Dallas. That's Rudy with a shot. He's 7'3".
Yeah. And now there will be, and remember, there will be beef. There is definitely optimism. There's still some hurdles, I'm told. He has to clear before he can play in game 1 of the finals. But yeah, don't forget, he used to play for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, it's all types of storylines if Dallas makes it to this against Boston. Kyrie.
So you're going to have Porzingis against his former team, Kyrie against his former team, and then both of these are teams that Grant Williams used to play on.
Well, that boy Charlotte, big man.
Talk about poor career management.
All you had to do was just be quiet.
Celtics.
All you had to do is just be quiet.
Sometimes Sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up. I mean, we know it, and you kept talking and got put out of. I don't think they really put him out of Boston. I think they just
Well,
they were
had
looking to
earned the
get
money.
better, and he wasn't it.
Well, he earned the money. From what he did for Boston, he earned the contract. But they knew that we weren't gonna pay you that contract. But he earned it. He just tried to be somebody he wasn't. And Draymond highlighted it. And once you highlight it, and then Luka didn't like you because you got into it with Luka in practice. You remember that when they got into it in practice, and Luka scored like 16 straight on them. You know that once that happens, like, well, we gonna send you to purgatory.
This is my thing, Grant Williams. You could very well find yourself back. I think that Boston should be interested in trying to get him back.
Yeah,
at $13 million a year.
Yeah, Horford be on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and he can hit the corner three.
I mean, he can hit the corner three. He can match up with a lot of threes and fours
because he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he knows the system. 6'6", 236.
Oh,
probably closer to 240, 245. You know, yeah, like there's a lot of value for a guy at $13 million. Like these are the new guys. That's what you're gonna like. These need to be your 6th, 7th, 8th man. If you can pay those guys that and know that they're competent basketball adults, then you got a chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
Or you just do it like Boston and say, I'm gonna spend money
all
on
the
5
money
players.
for 4 years. I'm gonna spend all the money for 4 years on 5 players, and we better win it.
Hey, they sound like the Patriots, don't they?
Yeah. So the Mavs Wolves is next. Mavs are up 3-0. Everything that I thought about this series went in the direct opposite. Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington are just destroying Cat and Rudy Gobert. The whole NBA has turned on Rudy Gobert. Also, Jaden Hardy, you need to stop talking trash to Ant Edwards now. Now you getting spoon fed by Luka, but you can't go 1-on-1 against Ant. But you have Karl Anthony Towns. Well, before we even get to Karl Anthony Towns, Jason Kidd is just absolutely out coaching Finch in Minnesota. They put
I don't think it helps
Edwards on Kyrie.
The coach is injured too.
Yeah, but he's still there. You can still say, "Hey, put Ant on Luka." Like you can still say that.
It's different between like walking the sideline, being able to get right to your player, hey, X, Y, and Z, versus having to. He's sitting behind the player, like he's sitting behind the bench, behind the coaches, sitting with the assistant coaches, and basically, you know, that's different. It's just never going to be the same. But at the end of the day, he's getting out coached, and the reason he's getting out coached is Rudy's getting blamed. Well, and Rudy's getting put into the situation.
Well, that's what I was saying with Rudy. It's not getting out coached about Rudy. It's the fact that you keep putting Ant on Kyrie. After game 1 or after Ant had to sit out in the 4th quarter to take oxygen for chasing Kyrie, I would have put him on Luka immediately. I would have put him on Luka immediately. Because there's no way that with Karl Anthony Towns being so bad, 15 for 54 from the field, 3 for 22, which would actually turn out to be 4 for 30 in the Western Conference, you have to change it, and you're not changing it. And then Dallas is all they're doing is just running pick and roll and isolating Gobert because you keep allowing Gobert to be out of the out of position. So it's really Luka is a killer. I keep saying it. I don't like him, but he is a killer. Kyrie, I'm buying into this. This may be the best scoring backcourt we've seen ever, or at least in a long time.
Stephen Clay.
Stephen Clay. Because they
Steph
shooters. That's a good conversation to have because they're the best shooters of all time.
Yeah, minus the 4 championships. That's different.
Yeah, but I mean, from scoring wise, they are playing. From a talent wise, oh, that's a kickball. From a talent wise, they are playing well. Rudy Gobert just getting murked. He just getting destroyed.
The
But
thing, the
you
difference
gotta
between
take
the
Rudy
two
out of the
is,
game.
and
at
the
some
reason
point.
that people like Luka and Kyrie more than Steph and Clay is, I mean,
They're
number one,
exciting.
you had Draymond who was kind of facilitating a lot of it, so they had a little bit less pressure on them. But I mean, Clay doesn't dribble the ball at all. He's
How is
Mr.
that not a
Notorious. I've scored
foul?
50 points on like 7, 8 dribbles. Kyrie and them moccasins. Oh, he rain danced first. And Luka is just unstoppable. He is the unstoppable, immovable object. So between the two of them, it's just better to watch. It's like it's kind of like LeBron versus Kevin Durant. Well, is LeBron probably the better basketball player? Yes. But who do I want to watch? I want to watch Kevin Durant. It's more fun to watch.
Yeah. Now I will say, man, with this, you can't stop Luka. You can't stop Kyrie. They are in the fourth quarter. They get going. Karl Anthony Towns he looks like he's probably gonna be out of Minnesota after this year, because you gotta add shooting. You got Rudy out there looking foolish, and Rudy, I don't know what you do with Rudy because nobody else is gonna take him, but he is getting exposed because the contract. He's getting exposed so bad with the switch. Dallas ain't running like the Golden State offense of running around the court. They just isolating Luka and Rudy or somebody.
But everybody
and Rudy.
don't have the ability to be able to make that double switch. So a lot of times you can be like, I'm gonna take this one, deny that one, and you don't have another player you can then run the PNR for again. He can't deny the second one. So most teams are not equipped to do outside of maybe like, I mean, this is one of the places one of the Hawks probably would flourish. If you're right, we could PNR you to death, and Rudy, you will probably have an issue with us. But outside of that, like let's be real here. Didn't they have the number one defense in the NBA?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Rudy was defensive player of the year. Then don't like sometimes the matchups just don't work in your way. But
and that's
you're
also
also
the point you're talking about. Where
you're in the
coaches
Western Conference Finals, and just last year people were like, "Oh, this team is stupid."
Well, that
Now
also
look at
lends to the fact that you were saying about, again, as I said it before, is coaching. Like Jason Kidd is supremely out coaching this team, Minnesota.
And you're right. It might not be Karl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. It might just be Finch getting his ass
no,
by Jason Kidd.
No. Let's go back to that graphic. 15 points in the series, 15 of 54, and 4 of 30 from 3.
Now,
No,
Karl Anthony
that ain't
Towns, you
coaching.
talking about you the greatest big man shooter of all time.
Boy, God said that's a lot quick. He ain't even wait for you to go to next year. He said next game 0 for 8.
Pride cometh before a fall. In fall, you have fallen. You have
on the ground.
fall. You have fallen and cannot get up.
Better go get that air
27.8
mattress
from the
from
field,
Ayton.
13.6 from the 3, and 0-3. My boy.
Better go get that air mattress from Ayton so you don't hit your head when you fall some more. I will say,
Would you make that deal? 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 Would you make that deal?
Ayton for.
Oh, you can't. They both 5.
Hey, I do Ayton for Gobert. I do Ayton for Gobert. I'll do that today.
But you cannot have DeAndre Ayton and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, you charming out there now. But you
making the
open up
job
the
so
space.
much more difficult on Karl Anthony Towns.
But you open up the space though. You Rudy Gobert clogs the lane.
Oh, you're right. You're right now.
So now Ant can do whatever he wants to do. And
it would be good for his career then, because then you're right, because Ayton can shoot the 15-footer. You'd have a lot of space.
And I would the only reason I would say trade Gobert
is to do a lot of adulting now.
He's getting out rebounded. You can't be 7-3 defensive player of the year and get out rebounded.
That
by Daniel
pisses
Gafford.
me off. That pisses me off to no end.
Like what
between
is that? What
him
is he doing?
And just Josh Hart dominating people on the board. I've never considered myself to be a great elite basketball player, but Josh Hart can get 13 rebounds. Damn it, son is 7 feet tall. You better get 15.
Yeah, and Karl Anthony Towns,
don't make sense
trying to do these layups, dog. Like, bro, you better. I will say
I wish-
Gafford and Pete Gafford is exposing them as just being soft. Like that's all he's doing.
I wish they had like that. You know how Shaq used to run hot and he just get mad and be like, "Hey, y'all be down there, I'm gonna dunk on your face."
They don't
I
have
miss
none of
that.
that.
There's nobody who really has like the bigs aren't mean.
That's Gobert's problem with Gobert and Cat. They soft. Like, and they're so like they are who we thought they were. At the end of the day,
Like
they
this,
had this
yes,
same
like
reputation
this
the
Daniel
whole
Gafford
time.
right-handed layup. Why were you trying to lay the ball? Why weren't you? He is 6'8", 6'9". You need to be trying to dunk on him. You need to be trying to dunk through him. Honestly, you should have tried to dunk and make him make an executive decision for the rest of his life in the paint. Oh no, I don't want to do that no more. Last time he tried to murder me.
You got to take Rudy out of the game.
Too
man.
much finesse. Too much finesse.
You got to take Rudy out of the game. You at the end of the day, you have to take Rudy out of the game, and that's what I'm not. And that's what I'm seeing in this entire Western Conference Final. Because I think the points margin for the 3 games has been 13 points, and the only reason it's at 13 points is because they hit their free throws at the end of the last game to win by 8. Otherwise, it would have been like 1 or 2.
Yep. Yeah, you can't make people have toughness.
If I'm somebody, I would probably I would trade Rudy. I wouldn't, but you can't trade Rudy. But Clint Capella on that team would just be because he gets rebounds. Yeah. That's where Rudy's the softness, the not being able to do anything offensively, getting exposed in the pick and roll, all of that can be fixed with coaching. Getting out rebounded by a 6'9" person is unacceptable at 7'3".
I mean, that's the reason I tell people. Everybody say, I hate Clint. I hate Clint. You can hate Clint all you want.
15 rebounds.
His numbers say shut up. He led the NBA in offensive rebounds. Like that
for the last like 2-3 years. Like this ain't one. Actually, we went to the playoff 2018.
Not the biggest, not the fastest, not the strongest. But he got that kind of Dennis Rodman ability to be able to know where the ball is going to be, and he get there. I don't know what to tell y'all. Watch him, learn shit.
Yeah. So, you got you said name those shoes with the moccasins out there. You have Luka and Kyrie who are on fire, and then you have Karl Anthony Towns who is. I don't even know what to call cold. It's past cold. Sub-zero, frostbitten, frozen, cryogenic, whatever you want to call it. He is awful, although he's playing pretty well now. And Rudy just doesn't give them anything offensively. It's basically Ant and everybody else on offense. And Ant his pride made him keep taking Kyrie to me. And he was getting he should have
abandoned ship on that a long time ago. Unfortunately, I hate to So that was where your coaching is supposed to save you. When the players want to be stupid, the coach is supposed to say no.
So we in another back and forth game now. It's 84-83. Minnesota was set. I think Minnesota's had the lead in the fourth quarter every game. Every single game. This
is the unfortunate part is this is perfectly fine for Dallas. They got the 2 closers. They got closer 1 and closer 2. And Minnesota got 1.
Oh, they gave the ball to Dallas? Wow. And Minnesota has 15 turnovers. The only reason look at that, Kyrie just scored. The only reason that Dallas is in this game is because they've got 30 points off turnovers. 30. Minnesota has actually played pretty good defense. Ooh, Ant starting to hit that mid-range. And I'm biased because Ant from Atlanta. He from real Atlanta. He went to Thero High School. That's down the street from me. So, I'm all for Atlanta, Minneapolis. But this Kyrie and Luka backcourt is crazy. It's crazy.
Treacherous because they're independent murderers. It's not like that's the only thing. At least Steph and Klay, they mostly kind of like Steph can get his own, but Klay, you need some level of screen or something. Hey man, you get Kyrie the ball and say, "Hey,
yeah." But Klay was before he got hurt. Klay was getting to he was arguably the best 2-way guard in the league. Remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely, heavy on the Dwayne Wade vibes. His defense, that he never got enough credit for, and the ability to get to the bucket. But Kyrie and Luka, it's just more fun to watch. That's really the answer. It's just way more fun to watch them do this. And then now, especially on Instagram, where they put like the 70s or 80s music behind it and watch them just kind of murder you slowly, and then that video gets 1 million views. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out here these days.
So this is gonna be good. If it is Dallas versus right now, it's gonna be Dallas versus Celtics is what it looks like, unless we see a miraculous 4, which I don't see happening with Rudy Gobert out there. 4-3 Minnesota. It looks like it's gonna be Dallas in 4 or Dallas in 5 or Dallas in 6. You got Celtics versus Mavs. Celtics versus Mavs. Now, one thing the Mavs have, and I did not give them credit for, is Derrick Jones Jr. He is guarding the 1 through the 4. He guards everybody, and he is a problem. Minnesota has missed 6 free throws. They're going to kick themselves for losing this game.
Oh, man. I mean, you're down 3-0, bro. You had no chance of winning in the first place. You're just doing this. You're just doing this so that Anthony Edwards doesn't, lose his mind
and be like, I want to lose.
But it's going to be the battle of the others, because you already know Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum going to show up. You know that Kyrie Irving and Luka going to show up. Who else can show up and find ways to influence the game and help the best 2 players on their team out? Whoever does that most effectively, I think has the highest chance of winning.
Oh, because I mean, not Minnesota. It's right now it's Boston, because they got Derek. What's the dude? And they got Drew.
Derek White.
They got Derek White and Drew, who are really good defensive players to bother, and they don't have to put Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum guarding Luka or Kyrie. That is going to be a problem.
That does help. But
once Kyrie get going, though,
that's going to go both ways, though, because Luka and Kyrie not going to guard Tatum or
I don't think Luka can stay in front of Derek. Personally, I don't think he has the foot speed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Luka done played a little bit of defense these last couple of series now. I don't think that Derek White.
He has. That's why. He's got my respect on that.
Like Derek White ain't finna bust his ass. See, that's not. I don't think Derek White gonna have any more than like 15 points.
Yeah, but it's not about
as long as he don't have 15 points on 7 to 8 shooting, you're fine.
Yeah, I was about to say Derek is the fact that he's efficient. He be like 12 for 14. You be like, dang.
You can, if you let Derek White go 7 of 8. Ooh, he gonna hit you with 15 quick points so fast. You're like, where did the 15 come from? Oh, he ain't missed. Now that is, you govern yourself like Luka. You same thing I told Miles. You can't get your ass tore up now. No, you still have to do something. You don't have to do a lot, because your offense is gonna make it difficult. But what you can't do is just get out there and get whooped. You're like, even if you outscore him, but he plays 30 minutes, he don't miss a shot, his plus minus gonna kill you.
Yeah, Derek White's plus minus be like plus 22. And then you got Drew Holiday, who is just basically he's a running back at point guard. And there's nothing like you can't overpower him. That's the thing. There he guards people in the post. So that's gonna be fun. But Dallas, man, I give them credit. I did not believe in them. Well, actually, I did, because I was the one that said they had the best addition at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean that was the part that really did them the most good was PJ Washington, like
Daniel Gafford. And
this is teams that were not like going into the finals thinking anybody thought that. I wasn't picking the Mavericks to win it, to go to the finals. I said, cool, they'll win 1 or 2 games, and then that'll be kind of it for them. No, they're about to compete for a championship. And that lets you know that, hey, when everybody else packed it in and said, hey, man, wash our hands up, we'll try next season. We're not going to do anything in the trade deadline. Hawks, I'm talking to you. You could have made a run for it, but you sat and watched two very gettable players from the Eastern Conference walk right past you.
And look how the Celtics made the finals, playing all hurt teams. See what happens?
We could
not saying no shot at the Celtics because they're good. They're the number one team in the league.
Yeah,
all
you
year.
beat the team that was in front of you. But had the Hawks sacked up and made a couple moves, I'm a firm believer of Hawks 6, 7, 8 players they have, because especially at the end of the season, who was the team that beat them twice in a week?
Hawks.
The Hawks.
And they were healthy, and we were not.
That's half a fucking series.
So, shout out to Dallas, man. You got to tip your hat to them. So now let's talk. We got some off-season stuff to talk about before we get to football. With the potential $7 billion media rights deal looming, the NBA players could make up to $95 million a year on a Supermax contract. The media rights will likely lock in a 10% cap growth starting in the 2025-2026 season. The cap will top $200 million in 2028-2029 with a 35% max salary that year projects to be $72 million. The 5th year salary option is $95 million. The total of max value is 5 years, $419 million. And sorry for Google Chrome not working, but I'm letting y'all know right now, the person that is on this graphic is Big Victor Wembanyama, and you for sure gonna know he gonna get $500 million easily. So this presents. I don't know if they're super teams. I don't know what this does, honestly, other than it's gonna be a lot of money.
So that's where you have a couple teams that are in a very unique position. Specifically, teams with older, high-paid stars. So I'm talking about the Lakers. I'm talking about the Suns. I'm talking about the Warriors. Is there anybody in the East that's like that?
Older, high-paid players? Older? You said the Pacers.
And I'm not the Pacers. They're not older and high-paid. The Bucks, you're not there, but you're close with Middleton and Giannis and Brook Lopez.
There's the hot take.
And
Sixers.
Sixers.
Giannis gonna force his way out of Milwaukee. It's gonna happen.
So this is a thing where the time doesn't really match up. And I know I'm probably gonna basketball nerd y'all out just a little bit here. But the second apron shows up next year, which means that all these high-paid players, if you have them, then you're not going to be able to really trade a bunch of players. I think right now the Phoenix Suns are not even able to draft because they're so far over the second apron. But the next year is when the cap probably goes through the roof and you get the boost because you get the TV rights deal. So some of these teams, you might just have to bite the bullet. Now, you're going to have to do your best to get all of the numbers ahead of time. Because what you don't want to do, and I even thought about as far as the Hawks, is you don't want to trade an asset because of the second apron, and then this TV rights deal go through the roof, and then that not be an issue anymore. Like,
so
we don't want to.
Go ahead.
You don't want to lose and give away trade like we did John Collins because we don't want to pay the luxury tax. And then the next year, the tax balloons by 30% or something. And we have way more than enough money where we could have kept all of the assets. So it's the next 2 years, a very weird time for basketball. The beam counters and the people who actually have to know the mathematicals, you better get this right. Because you could win or lose a championship right here in this little small void if you do it right, and you could put yourself on par or on course for a good future, or you could blow your future right here.
You made a good
Somebody
point.
gonna blow up.
You made a good point where I think Boston that's a foul. How are you complaining, Luka? You made a good point about. I think this comes probably a year too late for Boston. you made the point of you kind of got to bite the bullet for a year and then hope for because Boston, technically, if they had signed Jalen this offseason coming up, they would only had to bite the bullet for 1 year. If they were 1 year past it, they would have been able to sign Tatum, Derek White, and all of them and keep them all. But that apron now with having to sign Jason Tatum, because you're going to have to sign Jason Tatum. That's you.
And you're going to want to sign him before because, shit, you wait till after, you think that Jaylen Brown is expensive. You want to sign Jason Tatum before that new thing. And you're right. I mean, yeah, it's.
And what I'm saying is, and I'm going to let y'all know right now, Jason Tatum is going for Finals MVP. He's happy for Jaylen Brown, but if he gets Finals MVP, he getting that $400 million, whatever.
Oh, and you know he you know, a lot of these players want to do it for Kobe Bryant. There's nothing better than Kobe told me this before, that and he was one of the, Kobe's guys. So he's going to be motivated. And you want to, if you got a guy who you believe in, this is the summer to pay him. Because if not, except, I mean, like you look at Luka.
Oh, Luka getting that.
Say he on pace for, Luka gonna be a billionaire by the time it's over with in contracts.
So, do you think LeBron makes it 2 more years to get that final contract, or because LeBron, it's been leaked by Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, that LeBron is going to be a free agent next year, which we kind of
he didn't leak that. He was on television mid-game and said, "Y'all know LeBron is a free agent." Everybody's like, "Oh, you don't say that." That's like saying Candyman 2 times. You don't say that out loud. What are you doing?
Well, Ant don't get no calls at the rim. So LeBron, we knew he was going to be a free agent. We also knew all of that was BS about he's not going to want to try to play with Bronny and all that. We knew all that was BS. And the Lakers going out so sad the way they did, I don't know what's going to happen. This is the first offseason. I don't really know what's going to happen with LeBron.
I like the uncertainty too. Anytime that there is a storyline and there are so many different storylines. The Celtics, if they lose, I mean, what do you say for that? If you have the easiest, journey to the finals and can't get it done after you pay Jaylen Brown all that money and you still have to pay Jason Tatum, which there's no way you don't pay Jason Tatum the money. I like to see those I like to see when people have to make tough decisions. So that's going to be very interesting to me. If Luka wins a championship, what does that mean for the rest of the West?
It's you're right. It's a lot of stuff up in the air with this money.
That money changes everything. I think that Rich Paul did that on purpose, made sure he said that out loud on television so that everybody would have to talk about it.
You don't become Rich Paul, LeBron.
He did that on purpose.
You don't become business billionaire. You don't become business billionaire without everything being calculated. It's impossible.
And that LeBron told him it was okay to say too. That's the part that you need to be worried about more than anything. Yeah. Is that group over there don't talk without LeBron giving first approval. So if he gave the approval, then he's silently and very loudly letting you know, hey, I could be gone tomorrow, big dog. Govern yourself accordingly.
You got other players,
speaking of people who could be out tomorrow, and it's unfortunate because I really like the OG Anunoby trade.
Mm-hmm. But you got OG. I was about to say you got OG. They gonna Cleveland trying to sign what's his name right now. They trying to sign Donovan Mitchell now because they know he keeps scoring 50, 60, 70 points. There's somebody going to go get him. So you got that. You got DeJounte Murray, Trae Young. You got all them people in Orlando. You got Paolo. You have Houston. All those guys are going to start becoming free agents. They're going to start rookie contracts coming up. What you going to do with it? This next 2 off season is going to be crazy. Karl-Anthony Towns fouled out. Luka fouled him out. Speaking of Cleveland, scapegoat, JB Bickerstaff, got him out of there. I think he's a good coach. I think JB Bickerstaff is a good coach. I don't think that roster was as good. I think that roster outplayed a lot of its talent, even with getting Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland was overpaid. Jarrett Allen got hurt and really couldn't do anything. He's little Gobert. He couldn't really do nothing offensively. Evan Mobley, the coach didn't pick him. The GM picked him. Although the coach and GM are supposed to be in lockstep, the GM picked him. And he hasn't flourished like he's supposed to. So the makeup of that team, I think JB Bickerstaff is a great coach. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up if I'm LA, I would look at him.
There are so many different coaches. Don't go there, JB. You already got one short end of the deal. Do not go from Cleveland to LA. Find yourself a legitimate team, and you might have to wait. But find yourself a legitimate organization that's not, because if you go to the Lakers, it's a 4-year job. Even if you're good, when LeBron leaves and AD is there by himself, that thing is going to go to the toilet. So there's no long-term plan in there, though. And I don't think that there's honestly, I don't think that there's a road to a championship in LA the way that team is presently constructed. So you're just going there to be the whipping boy for a year or two. You're going to be the person who takes all the blame. This was a terrible fire by Cleveland. It looks like Cleveland is going to return back to who they always are and just suck. They've already, what's the guy's name? The owner. Dan Gilbert, he says he'll be a lot more
hands-on,
in tune, and be a part of the next hiring of the next coach, which that when people say stuff like that, that means that you're insinuating to me that you think that the last coach was a bad coach, and you think that was a bad decision to hire that guy. The issue that you made was trading for Donovan Mitchell and trading all your draft
picks.
So you have no way to get any better. And then you drafted the right guy in Evan Mobley, but you put him next to a center whose shot profile is the paint. Then you have a small forward. Well, you don't have a small forward. You have the mixture of Karis LeVert and Isaac Okoro, which for all intents and purposes gets you nothing. Then you have not Colin Sexton. You have Darius Garland, which I think you would have probably kept Colin Sexton because he was much cheaper. And Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are redundant. They do the same thing, except for Darius Garland is a lot less good at what he does than Donovan Mitchell. So it doesn't even it's not in the same way that Kyrie can let Luka cook and then Luka can let Kyrie cook, because that's just not Garland. That's not who Garland is. And we saw it when Donovan Mitchell had to score every point in the fourth quarter, and Darius Garland was just turning the ball over. He ain't it.
He talking about I'm gonna request a trade. Dude. Darius Garland, I remember some folks said, well, I ain't gonna say it again, but he
oh no, that was stupid. You don't say and maybe I'm an awful human, but if I know the girlfriend to break up with me, I'm not gonna then release my moral high ground and break up with her. I'll wait. You knew that Donovan Mitchell is probably going to be out of here. You saying that either me or him when it wasn't a me or him, you just created a new battle in a team that is clearly already, and I've said this for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Cleveland is on the softest of foundation. Jarrett Allen, everybody down with him because he didn't take the cortisone shot. He didn't play. Teammates calling him out about that. Then immediately they're like, oh, well, he's up for trade. JB Bickerstaff fired. Evan Mobley, everybody's talking about he hasn't been what they expected out of him. You've never had a 3. And then you have both your guards saying that, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing somewhere else. Evan Mobley is the only person who sounds like he might still want to be in Cleveland.
No, he don't. He's just on a rookie contract. He trying to get his next contract. He don't want to be there.
The money.
Ain't nobody. Yes. Who's shot? Hey, I love everybody from Cleveland. I don't have no smoke. If I gotta stay there by myself with Isaac Okoro, shout out Isaac Okoro, that's Atlanta native, and Karis LeVert, and me,
can't do it
in Cleveland. I do that if I'm in New York or LA or Houston or Atlanta. I'm not doing that in Cleveland. I'm not gonna be miserable and bad. I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna get that check. I'm gonna get
Or
that check,
DC.
and I'm
Y'all
outta
better
there.
I John Wall that to the send me to DC. I'll be terrible. Right after the game over, I'll be right there in the club.
Park at 17.
Right there in the
What's
club.
good, my boy? Need that table. I need that table, Primo. I got to have.
Luka just hit a 4-point play. That's crazy. And Ant just fouled out. Wow. Is this how Minnesota gets eliminated? Oh, that's not a foul. Oh, you got to review that. 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 Sorry, y'all.
But yeah, I mean, Cleveland actually looks like, you look at all the teams in the Eastern Conference, Cleveland is probably one of, if not the worst places to be right now.
Yeah. You're a mid-market team with your superstar doesn't want to be there.
No, neither one of your guards want to, like, they just handled this. Just take your loss and let it be a loss. They let the loss affect their team. Mm-hmm. Now you're in a whole different situation. I did want to acknowledge that DeJounte Murray, I think he had the 6th most deflections for a player in the NBA this year at 235, and then he had 111 steals, which tied him for 6th most steals. He finds 100 steals a season, every season. And I appreciate him when Trey went down. He stepped up in the ways that we needed him to and got this team to at least being, operational for the most part. I'm a firm believer that this guy is the best player on our team. He's the leader of our team and the guy who we should move forward with. I read something today where I think the teams are more interested in DeJounte Murray than Trae Young just because he has a much more reasonable team-friendly deal. And that's been my always, outside of his leadership and defense, his ability, like him signing that really nice deal for us. I want to keep him because that allows us, if we were to move Trae, that gives us cap space to go get some players.
Yeah, shout out to DeJounte, man. So before we get to football, we're going to go to the draft real quick. I don't understand. Bronny had 10 workouts. 10 teams tried to schedule workouts with LeBron James Jr., Bronny James. And he declined all of them except for the Suns and the Lakers. The Lakers, of course, you knew that was going to happen. They already said, we're going to draft him to keep LeBron because that's a foul. But then also... Didn't
they draft Thanasis or Goodnassus or Manassas, one of their names?
For who, Giannis?
No, the Lakers drafted one of the Antetokounmpo brothers who never made, and Giannis never made it there.
Yeah, and they traded him right on over to the Bucks, and he won a championship with them.
The Lakers are desperate, though. Let's just be real.
I don't know. But Bronny,
the Lakers have become that girl that was really beautiful in college, and now you look at her like, ooh, I'm glad I'm not there.
But Bronny turning down everything but the Lakers and the Suns means that the Lakers and the Suns have promised to draft Bronny if LeBron comes. To me, that's what that means. And I'm telling you,
there's not
Phoenix,
enough money with the Suns.
Yeah, you can get rid. Everybody can go. I trade everybody, but Devin Booker and KD. Everybody. They ain't got nobody else. Bradley Beal, you can go to purgatory. You can go. Where do you always go to hell? You can get the hell out. Go away. I'd send you back to Washington with a pick. Just take the money. And Minnesota won. Well, here you go. Ooh, yeah, it's over with.
So I guess at this point I'm kind of stepping out of the Bronny media storm. Clearly, he knows something that nobody else knows because every move that he makes,
do they call it technical foul?
seems to be the worst move that I think that you can make. And when people, I found out that if you don't support people who that everybody likes 100% of the time, then you become a hater. I was called a Bronny James hater because I didn't think that he was as good as advertised.
Why would you think what? Are you talking about when he got to college or going to the pros?
No, like now. They're like, oh, you don't believe that he's ready for the pros? I'm like, I don't have any data that has said that he is.
That's stupidity. He would have benefited from staying 3 years in college because he would have learned how to be a facilitator. Bronny could be one of the most athletic point guards in the league if he would just learn how to facilitate the ball, because he's 6'2", but he has a 6'7" wingspan and he's got a 30-something inch vertical leap. So,
36,
which is insane. That's 3 feet. That means I can touch the square. That means at 6'2", I can touch the
fast
square.
mouth.
Think about it. If you 6'2" with a 6'7" wingspan, and you add 3 feet to that, I can damn near touch the square.
Yeah, you're a high flyer.
So and then if I'm and he can shoot. Now I've seen him be able to shoot.
You know who the best. You know who. Derek White. I think I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna try it. Is the LeBron James of Bronny James?
No, he's not. But that's funny.
But I think I think that's Bronny's ceiling. Like a guy who's not a legitimate, like Derek White's not a facilitator. He's not really a scorer. He's a good defender. He's a very good role player in his spaces, but he doesn't really help anybody. Like he's not like he's not helping Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Sorry, y'all. I said the N-word. I done got off topic. You can't be. Y'all won. What you getting emotional for? Y'all down 3-1.
Who got emotional?
Karl Anthony Towns. He was talking to Ant and had that. He was wiping his eye. Maybe it was sweat. I'm hoping it was sweat. Yeah. But go back to it.
Hold on, here it is. Here it is. I don't know. Look at God Sham God for the Mavs. I'm happy for him. But yeah, at the end of the day, Bronny just knows something that I don't know. So I'm gonna just sit back and watch.
That's what he know. My father run the league. Adam Silver ain't no commissioner. What? I know my dad. My dad run Nike. My dad.
Do you know who my dad is?
My dad run Nike. Dad. He run the NBA. He run Gatorade.
He'll run you if you keep talking too.
Y'all, that's who I know. So he know he's gonna get. Now he does know he's gonna get drafted. But Bronny he should have stayed in school. He should have stayed in school. You heard it here first. I'm not saying we're the people that discovered him. We're not basketball scouts, but we know you haven't heard of him. You heard it here first. Mohamed Dabone. I'm gonna say Dabone. Dabone. Mohamed Dabone is a 12-year-old. 6'10" center. In the EuroLeague. You don't think he's 12? He's a 12-year-old 6'10" center who in the EuroLeague under 18 tournament had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks in 12 minutes of play.
That is Giannis.
He looks like he's gonna break all of Luka's because he plays in Barcelona. He's gonna break all those records. He about to break all them records. He looks scary.
Ain't no way Mohamed Dabone is no goddamn 12 years old. If he that, then I'm 13. Get me out there, Mohamed. We finna play together because you a damn lie talking about you 13.
Hey man, they out there in Europe. Y'all can't tell me there ain't no genetic testing. There ain't no way. We ain't had but 10 7-footers in 1,000 years. And now all of a sudden.
Some places say he's 16 and 12, but most people think he's 15 to 17 years old. The curious case of Mohamed Dabone. Boy, fuck out of here. Let me tell you. He is a lot of things, but 12 years old is not it. But this is the thing. He could just be, at 15 years old, he's still a good basketball. Hell, at 18 years old,
at 15 years old, he still got another growth spurt. at 6'10".
Yo,
If he get to be
I
7'2", then because the way he's playing, but back to my point. We ain't had but 10 7-footers for 1,000 years, and now all of a sudden France got 7'3", 7'6", 7'5", 7'2". It's 6'10", 12-year-olds.
It's the last Antetokounmpo brother. He even kind of looked like Giannis.
He looked like
I'm gonna tell you this
like
right now. Otherwise, and I want credit.
He can
for
shoot the
this.
three.
I have been telling y'all for the last couple of years, basketball has changed fundamentally. If you're not 6'7" or taller now, you're a football player. And you need to start governing yourself accordingly.
Baseball,
because
better go get Randy Johnson.
Oh, I'm 6'3". Boy, shut the hell. Look, I hate to say it, Bronny. That's a lot of the reason I don't believe in you. It's not because you're not a good basketball player. These guys are too tall now. Alexander Sarr, we're probably going to draft him at 7 foot. Fastest 7-footer I've ever seen with my own eyes.
Yeah, his athletic as hell. And he can dribble.
You coming right back with Cooper Flag next year. Another 6'11", 6'10", dribble, pass, shoot. If you're not of that size going forward, they're not even going to, like, Bronny, I told you, you were built to be a cornerback.
Quarter. He can throw, too.
And I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of mamas, y'all going to have to come to reality with y'all kids. Everybody, I don't want my kid to play football.
Get a degree.
Your kid is not a basketball player no more. Let me tell you that. Is your kid going to be 6'5"?
Grant Williams, this is the last generation of Grant Williams. We were talking about Grant Williams when he played. He's a 6'4" power forward. I'm gonna let you know right now, that's over with.
What's that fuss? Everybody get to the back of the bus. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's over. If you are not 6'5", 6'7", 6'8" with a shot,
and
move on around, bro.
And the NBA has figured out that they need to go back to the American basketball has figured out they need to do fundamentals. So, because the EuroLeague players are coming in ready to play because they can shoot the free throws. They can dribble with their left hand. They can shoot offhand. They don't
make players decide what you're going to be in the 5th grade.
Nope.
They just let you play basketball, and then once you get done growing, that's where you figure out, hey, this is where I need to stand on the court. Us, if you're tall, that's the reason Kevin Durant never wanted to be 7 foot. They put 7 foot guys in the post. I want to dribble and shoot.
I'm 6'9".
7 feet.
Like, boy, you taller than DeMarcus Cousins.
and DeMarcus and his cousin. You taller than all of the Cousins family. And you're gonna sit up here and talk about you 6'9", bro. You are the most talented 7-footer to ever play basketball, and you were the only person who never take credit for it. But yeah, that's it for me now. And no, I believe this kid is Giannis. I think Giannis lost some weight from being injured. And he decided to tell everybody he was 12 years old and be Danny Almonte. You're not telling me that this kid is 12 years old.
6'10", 12 years old is crazy.
I hate to have to Barack him, but I need to see his birth certificate.
Treat it like AAU. Like when you go out there, your kid playing football at that 6'4" running back, you be like, nah, ain't no way he's 9. There's no way.
Danny Almonte, Little League World Series. Danny was like 17 years old throwing against 12-year-olds. Knocking their socks off. They're like, bro, I ain't even going to pre-algebra yet. This man is driving. We are not the same here.
But ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of basketball. We're gonna take a quick 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water. We're gonna come talk about we got some stuff that the receivers are in the NFL. They are the position group that normally holds out for contracts and all of that stuff. And then we're going to talk about the University of Florida.
Have become the 3-and-D wings. They know that everybody wants one, and now they up.
Well, I got a counterpoint for that. So with that being said, give us about 30 seconds, y'all. Y'all go get y'all another beverage if you need to. We'll be right back with our final segment of episode 153 of the Splashcast, our basketball segment. Y'all stay tuned.
Give me respect. Give me respect. Get the fuck out my dick, unless you giving me neck. I'm getting you wrecked. Whoa. Give me respect. Give me respect. Get the fuck out my face, as you give me a check. Don't give me upset. I gotta watch how I'm dropping it, bitch. I'ma get in the wreck. I gotta watch at a reasonable price. I ain't get to protect. No. I brought a squad in with me. Better watch how you speak to my guests. And we don't do fraudulent beef. HBC, you need to step. Hey, this year I'm coming for all I'm old. I'm going big dog on all them hoes. Slice of the pie gon' be all I'm old. Hop on the bandwagon all aboard. I hop on your song and they call them more. Don't be a humble bitch, no more. Watch how you saying my name. When life gave lemons, I made my rhyme. Act like I ain't changed the game. Stood tall like Will Chamberlain. Big chain going jangling. Make a move the thing like a tambourine. Some can't stand the rain. I did the backstroke when the hurricane came. I get my macros, baby, every day's a gain. I'm a Mac pro, hit the leapfrog on the tap over. Fly long before you was alive, pterodactyl. Now everybody wanna slide through the back door. Cat so much on my back, I can't even dap, bro.
These niggas playing games, but I can't complain. Shit just ain't the same. I got a stake to claim. Fake love came with the name. You can only blame the fame. You cannot hang with the gang, nigga. I'm ashamed of lane. Chain keeps swinging in the range, cause the nigga changing lanes. Bitch, I feel like Damon Wayne. Money bring me major pain. I turned up, you stayed the same. You and me ain't made the same. There's some shit you can't make up. Maybe niggas using Maybelline. I mean, I be getting paid to sing, but my young niggas spray the scene. I put all my feelings on the scale and that shit didn't weigh a thing. Brody cooking chickens, baking wings. Bitch, I'm ballin', you ain't make the team. Grow a money tree and rake the leaves. You would think this shit was make-believe. Give me respect. Give me respect. Get the fuck off my dick, lest you giving me neck. I'm getting a wreck. Give me respect. Give me respect. Get the fuck out my face, lest you come with a check. Don't get me upset.
Over mountains to the vastest space, there is forest, and in this forest there shall be peace. Among all men who enter within shall this peace be spread.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 153 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw, our football segment. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. Before we do that, remember they can always do what Norwood.
Like, they can follow, they can subscribe, they can support the pod, continue to support Black creators. All it takes is a like. Go ahead, go on like and spree. We appreciate that,
yeah,
too.
man. Yeah,
Shout out
listen,
to you guys.
every video, the videos, we work really hard to get this stuff out to y'all. All I need you to do is go listen. You know, I know you here on live. We appreciate all the 70. We up to 76 viewers on average. Shout out to y'all. I remember we was at 3. So shout out. It was my mama and my daddy and your mama was one. That was the 3.
Hey, the boys on.
Yeah, yo, shout out to Sad, shout out to Dessa, everybody. That it was family. It was a family reunion up here for a little bit. Yeah. But we kept plugging, man. We appreciate y'all. Please go like, follow, subscribe. Just like the videos. We try to put all of the chapters on there. We know that it's 3 hours long, but you can go back and listen to your HBCU. Take one day, listen to your football, listen to your basketball. We appreciate it. We think we cover a lot of things and give you a unique perspective, especially on the HBCU front. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Start out with college football. So, the NCAA Power 5 have agreed to let schools pay players. The NCAA and its leagues are moving forward with a multi-billion-dollar settlement agreement that will allow schools to directly pay players for the first time in the history of college sports. The NCAA will pay more than $2.7 billion in damages over 10 years to past and current athletes, according to sources.
Must be the money.
This is great. This is reparations, if you want to call it. But for them to agree to pay $2.7 billion means that they made $2.7 trillion over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So
they made enough where let's pay them to shut up, which y'all should have been doing from the beginning, which is kind of neither here nor there, I guess. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just happy for the players and athletes going forward. Should be interesting to see how they delineate the money. And not necessarily for the easy schools, the Georgias of the world. It's going to pay the football players. That's where a lot of our money is made. But when you look at the schools like UConn, where the women's basketball team is more important, or hell, South Carolina, where the women's basketball team is the team that's good, but college football is just going to make more money. So the football team is going to make more money. But, I mean, if you look at the players, are you telling me that any of those guys are as good as Malaysia Fulwiley?
On South Carolina team?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one dude. That dude that ran the 10-2-40 and 10-200.
Oh, no, but he's fast. He's fast.
Yeah,
that
freshman.
Don't mean he's good.
6'5", 240.
I gotta see if he's good. But they said that's a whole. We'll have that discussion next week about the freshman who broke Tyreek record.
At
Jesus,
6'5", 240. Don't forget, you could be fast a little. 6'5", 240 running a 10-2, 200. Or I mean a 10, whatever he ran.
You better learn that. You better learn that route tree, big dog. I don't care what position you used to play. You're a receiver now. If you run as fast as Tyreek,
he a tight end.
Now,
well, they got he was the number one athlete. So
no,
but,
I don't care. No tight end, wide receiver. 240.
Quarterback. We running wing T. 6'5", 240. I'm giving you the ball every time.
Boy, he was in high school ruining people's lives. Jesus, I ain't doing that, coach. I'm going to college, not to play sports. I'm going to get a degree. He is a.
But back to the.
Can you catch Tyreek? Then don't tell me what to do.
But shout out to, I will say this is good because unfortunately the NCAA is reactionary. So they're paying college players they're trying to figure out a way to now supplement paying walk-ons with NIL. That's what they're trying to figure out. So the thing with walk-ons with the NIL was instead of giving people scholarships, they were just saying, we'll just pay you an NIL and you use the NIL money to pay for school.
Money is money at the end of the day. Just cover your costs. This is the way that we get you to cover your costs, which is one of the reasons like me and you talked about in pre-production today that every coach from the SEC was pro walk-on. Well, yeah, because that's another way to maintain athletes that you would otherwise not be able to get. So, this is going to be a push and pull. There's going to be a lot of creativity for all parties involved because everybody's going to find a way to manipulate the system and to continue to manipulate the system. So the only thing you can do is hope that your manipulators are manipulating at the highest rate. And otherwise you're going to be behind the 8 ball.
Speaking of NIL, did y'all know that Snoop Dogg has his own bowl game? It's called the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl Game. And it will become the first bowl game to offer NIL money to student athletes. Snoop Dogg made the announcement saying it's a matchup featuring the Mountain West and the MAC. It will air on December 28th, and it will become the first bowl game to pay NIL money to student athletes. If you remember in the past, what they did was instead of paying the players, they would give them gifts. My godbrother played for Georgia Tech. I think they got an Xbox when it was out. They got shoes, clothes.
Man, I was just
watches.
laughing at my brother and all them stupid ass gifts they gave him for the Orange Bowl. Sweatsuit 7X, a DVD player. It is one of the cooler parts of going to the bowl game is the swag bag. They give you a bunch of stuff.
That's why everybody wanted to go to Fiesta Bowl because it was sponsored by PlayStation at the time.
Yeah. But, cash is king.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and give me my money. Let me spend my money how I want to.
So, first off, we need to give a round of applause for Snoop Dogg for getting his own bowl game. That's what we need.
Quietly, man. We're not even going to begin to talk about the rap pioneer and rap icon that Snoop Dogg is, one of the most recognizable people on this planet. But just his investment into football, he has players from his league that are in their pros now. Now he's put himself in a position where he has a bowl game. he's. We got to do more. Me and you got to do more. If Snoop can do all of this,
well, his brand. It's not even about money for him. It's
about, still the execution though. He's doing a lot of high level executing.
Yeah, his team, whoever his team is good now. But we talk about.
Remember, he just hit the thing off with Skechers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and if you got kids, little children, there is a Doggyland Kids mixtape, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Let me tell y'all, our executive producer Kyreezy loves all of them. She be freestyling to them joints.
Listening to the Dog Pound, to the D-O-double-G. Okay.
Yes, sir, and it's good. It's very positive affirmations. It's really good. So
that's what I like to hear.
Yeah,
but,
shout out.
I mean, for me, yeah, it's iconic what he's doing, even in the football space. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, yeah, just having your own bowl game. Why not? Like, if you could do that, and we have all these entertainers, rappers, etc., who can do so many things, do that. Definitely do that.
Yep.
And I like that he's setting a precedent. Nah, we should pay these players for doing this.
Mm-hmm. And they will. It's gonna happen.
Between him and Ice Cube, they ain't missing. God.
Yeah. That
some money over there.
That West Coast is up right now, man. They up. They not like us. Speaking of not like us. Speaking of not like us. Let's go down to the swampland. Georgia Bulldogs got Jaden Rashada, who was a former 5-star quarterback, transferred from Arizona State to Georgia. He, if you don't know, was committed and signed to Florida and Billy Napier. Allegedly, they promised him an NIL money, a deal worth roughly about $13 million. And after he signed his deal, they backed out of it. And that's why he was then, after he presented his case to the NCAA, he was granted his release from his contract. And he went to Arizona State for a year, played, and now he's at UGA. He is now, with Kirby Smart's blessing, which is just king petty.
Of course. That Kirby Smart did not need to approve that, and you knew Kirby would love to approve it. Kirby probably sent out the damn press release.
So the it that he's referring to is Jaden Rashada is now suing Florida for $13.65 million in NIL money that they backed out of. And he is suing Billy Napier and the athletic director along with the NIL collective. Billy Napier said, I can't comment, but he does have confidence in their legal team, and I'm comfortable with my actions, and I'm thankful for the university's support. And he said he's not getting into all of that, and he'll let the process take its course. That sounds like settlement is coming to me. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, on the way. Would you take this 5 and just let us go? Because at the end of the day, there are a couple of things here. Number one, the way that they handled this was trash. This is really, especially you, Billy, this is your shot. And I honestly don't think it was Billy. I think that Billy that will probably be his defense. He was sold a bad bill of goods too. At the end of the day, it doesn't serve Billy any not to have paid that dude $1 million. Billy needed Rashada as bad as he possibly could have had it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been one of the, him signing Lagway later was a hell of a victory. And then this little run lately
defeat
for Monty McClain and all the I'm not going to say the leftovers because you've done a good job in this last 6 months, but everywhere else you sucked. So I think that he needed it, but this is a landmark case. I got to be real here. This is the first time of this is essentially a bait and switch. Hey, you're going to come here. We're going to pay you for this. We're going to pay you to do a job. And on day one of you showing up to your job expecting payment, they didn't tell you we don't have any of the money.
Not going to pay you. Not that much. So
at the end of the day, as much as I'm a Florida fan, if you do some bullshit, you did some bullshit. And this is not, I don't want this to be set as a recruiting trick or something that's okay, because it's going to be black kids to get taken advantage of the most if it is. So no, you need to like going forward. I think that they're going to probably have to do a better job of like sourcing and seasoning the money, which means I have to see exactly where this money came from. It just can't be like, unfortunately, we talked about it a whole lot, but the FAMU razzle dazzle of $273 million. Where did this money come from? How long have you had the money? And the money needs to be in escrow before somebody signs a contract, because otherwise you're going to have these kids play. They're going to sign up. They're going to spend all of the money, their current resources to get somewhere. And then you get there and you tell them, oh, we don't have the money. And then what you're probably going to do is probably lowball counter them. Well, I don't have $1 million for you. Maybe I got 200K. Is that enough? And the kid could have got $1 million somewhere else.
Yep. That's the part
That
that
ain't
I
right.
think that sucks.
That ain't right.
Is that he was a top 5 quarterback in the nation.
Yes.
And he had scholarship offers everywhere. And I can tell you
Yes.
one place that he did not probably plan on going was Arizona State.
Nope.
So the fact that he had to go to Arizona State, and a lot of football, especially football, is one of the ultimate team games. You have to have good players around you. Him being at
Exactly.
Florida, although Florida is down right now, the caliber of athlete and competition that they play would have given him more exposure versus going to Arizona State. No shade to Arizona State because they played really, really well. But they also
Yeah.
got a lot of SEC
You just
transfers
don't-
too.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Look, you had Ricky who transferred from Arizona to Florida for a reason. You wanted to be seen by more players. Anthony Richardson. You know how me and you have talked about Anthony Richardson pre-draft to where he is now. He is,
No way
is
he's the number
leader of
4
the-
pick from Arizona State. No way.
Exactly.
I don't think so.
But what I'm saying is you got to play up Florida. You got eyes. People actually got to see you play against good teams. And, y'all joked all the time. Y'all got to see him tackle, but you also got to see him run. You got to see him throw the ball. So you became aware that's where the money is made. So yeah, he probably is owed every bit of $13 million. So I hope that he gets it. Suing my team or not, I don't. If you're doing bad business, then pay what you owe. I don't care. My team and I.
Yep. So we'll see how this plays out, but this could make or break the next 2 or 3 years for Billy in Florida for sure.
2 or 3 years.
If he, like I
He's
said,
out of there.
I said if he wins just a little bit this year and he comes competitive, he'll be able to stay. If you cost the
Reggie.
school $15 million and you lose, you out of there.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Hear me and hear me good. Today is May 28th, 2024. Billy Napier will not be the Florida football coach. 2025, nothing. Fired. He
You think
has
so?
7 more months at this job. Best thing I can tell you to do is get your resume together and reach out to ChatGPT. Let it clean the rest of it up.
Go back and be in
We're
the
not
position,
even.
coach.
I'll post a video of AB and
Le'Veon Bell and AB fighting, playing, going out there. Le'Veon Bell want to fight one of the Paul brothers.
Yeah, Le'Veon. I mean, I guess he is an athlete and he beat the hell out of that dude. But AB walking you out is problematic. The Kansas City Chiefs,
ESPN.
they will pay right now for anybody to make a good decision over there. I'm gonna run everything down real quick for you. In the past few weeks, Rashid Rice was arrested. Now he's facing 8 felonies. Jesus. Then he allegedly punched a photographer. They have since those charges have been dropped. Harrison Butker went out and said everything that you should not say out loud. You shouldn't even think it real hard. Xavier Worthy's car was stolen from the Kansas City facility.
2 days after he got there.
offensive, two offensive linemen were arrested together with some trees in their car. It has to get to a point where, Pat Mahomes, and then don't forget Andy Reid's son. He's still, he's out, but he had the DUI and hurt the girl. And then, Mahomes over there trying to deal. Oh, and Pops Mahomes had the DUI.
Well,
and
yeah,
then Jackson.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. I know it's not really necessarily team related, but Mahomes got to be like, God damn, can't nobody get an Uber?
That's why he in Dallas. That's why he was at the game. I don't need to be in Kansas City right now. He came right on to Dallas. He went to Texas Tech. He from
and you right. He be in Dallas every game. He like, I'm getting.
Well, he also owns
Mahomes,
I think he owns the
state.
I think the soccer team. I think he bought into the soccer
everything.
Team.
The Royals, everything. But it's kind of it's amazing because Kansas City is such a team of just like survivalists. It's like no matter what we lose or what happens, they just figure it out. But it's like you keep tempting fate. Like, when is enough? Like, damn, we can't get no breaks.
Kansas City gotta get it together.
Borderline. If I'm Andy Reid, go home and sit in the house. Don't call each other. Don't call nobody. Sit in silence until tomorrow, and it's time to go to practice. That's it.
Mahomes, I'm buying an apartment building, and all y'all gonna live there. It's a dorm. Y'all not gonna do nothing. Treat y'all like Eddie Robinson at Grambling. Y'all gonna get up, read the playbook, go eat, go to sleep. That's it. Devontae Smith bought a reasonable crib after he signed his extension with the Philadelphia Eagles, and people were clowning him for it. We don't clown smart financial decisions here on the Splashcast. You buy what you are comfortable with, and he's living a good life. You can't. How you gonna criticize somebody for $75 million?
House.
Yeah,
and he got $75 million this year. This man seems like a person who's making decisions that will have him be rich well into his latest of years, and hopefully generational wealth for his entire family. And y'all get right here on Al Gore's damn internet and say anything stupid. I can't believe he bought that house. And that's the reason people don't give you money.
You know why AB filed for bankruptcy? You're not making sound financial decisions.
I think he got that Trump bankruptcy. Just delete me. Clear me out. But you know what? He took that Kanye plan. Oh, okay. Shoot. I'm broke, but I'm rich. Anytime I'm broke, but all my friends are uber wealthy, you ain't broke no more, bro. They gonna help you get your money. And that's what's gonna happen here. But I shout out to Devontae Smith, man. We see so many athletes making terrible financial decisions, poor life decisions all the time. When you see somebody making a good decision, man, we want to make sure that we speak that up, and hopefully more people, learn and listen from this.
Yep. Speaking of receivers getting their money,
the internet is stupid and fake.
Speaking of the receivers getting their money, the Bengals are in a little bit of a conundrum.
There we go.
The Bengals, never mind Trey Hendrickson, who is probably the best pass rusher in the AFC North, or at least top,
he might
top
be done.
3. He might retire before they pay him because they got to pay him. They also have to pay T. Higgins, who they said they have not had any contract negotiations with, according to T. Higgins, after they franchise tagged him. And now Jamar Chase, who's on his 4th year of his 5th year, 5-year contract, needs to be paid as well. None of them showed up to camp. They were throwing to Burton, who they drafted out of Alabama. That was their wide receiver 1 because they don't have it. And Tyler Boyd left and went to San Diego, Houston. So
Higgins is probably tight on you.
Yeah, you out.
Jamar Chase, you gonna get paid. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland right now because not Cleveland, but Ohio right now between the Cavs. It seemed like that team is falling apart, and the Bengals. It's something in the water over there too. It doesn't seem when you got one guy talking about I'm ready to retire, other people not showing up. It don't look like a lot of people are happy over there.
It's the gift and the curse. You drafted well. That means in those 2 drafts, you got Trey Hendrickson, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. And mind you, it almost worked out. They made it to the Super Bowl. They lost because Aaron Donald just decided I'm Aaron Donald again. Not even again. He never stopped being Aaron Donald. So it's not like it didn't work out. It's kind of like we talked about in the basketball segment with the Celtics. The Celtics going to have to win this year. They're going to be in the same situation.
The window is small. Either you execute or go home. It's that simple. It is legitimately that simple. Execute or go home. But it's just like I felt about the Cavs before the season ended. It's kind of how I feel about the Bengals. Now the difference is the Cavs season just ended, so you got time to kind of scramble and fix that. This is OTAs, and the Bengals still don't have.
And the draft is over. And they ain't really drafting.
And the thing
receivers.
about it is, T. Higgins, you have to understand you're the man up the river. Jamar Burrows is not letting Jamar Chase leave. Not a chance.
T. Higgins, you can
now
go right on to Dallas.
The best thing that they can do is pay him right now, because Justin Jefferson is going to get paid too. And Justin Jefferson is going to make it, and CeeDee Lamb also trying to get paid. Hold up. You mentioned Justin
Jefferson. You mentioned Justin Jefferson. I read something today that they actually explored. Rumor. This may be a negotiation tactic leaked by Justin Jefferson's camp. But they explored Minnesota after Kirk Cousins left. They explored trading Justin Jefferson for a bunch of picks and drafting Malik Neighbors, which would have been insane. But because Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league.
It's the right. That was probably the right answer. Because I told you, if I'm Justin Jefferson and you give me, I can't even think of his name. Zachary Taylor Thomas 2.0.
McCarthy.
I'm not. No, that dude cannot be in control of my future success. I have never.
So sneaky.
He made Z. No, he didn't make it. What Michigan receiver you like? Oh, I gotta have him.
Michigan quarterback?
No, receiver. Who did McCarthy make look like somebody? Nobody. Well, if he didn't do that in college, he's sure not finna do that in the pros. I can't believe if I'm Justin Jefferson, there's no way I'm staying in Minnesota. I'm ready to leave. As soon as you draft him, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Better call the Falcons, see if you get Michael Penix. Well, I'm gonna tell you, him, no. I'm out. Yeah. And y'all playing in my face by even drafting him. Y'all could have went and got. Y'all better go get y'all better get somebody old. At least get Carson Wentz to trick me.
Shout out to the Falcons for messing up the draft for everybody.
Oh man, they kicked the whole grill
over. So the off season is started. We are exactly 15 Sundays away from the beginning of football season. We are at the halfway point, people. 15 Sundays since Super Bowl Sunday, 15 Sundays till kickoff in the NFL. So they got 15 weeks to figure this out.
Get it right.
Y'all better figure it out, and maybe I'm a homer. You see the Falcons stuff behind me. Maybe the Falcons just sitting back and waiting all of this stuff to play out, because they need a corner and they need another receiver, and it's a bunch of corners and receivers that are not happy right now.
Yeah.
So you never know, man. But we kind of zoomed through this football segment. I'm tired. He tired, but I want to see this. This pregame, this postgame. We gotta be
real here, man. Football on the way. We got some time. Y'all need to be reading your blogs, listen to us, follow the Twitter, follow the Instagram, and we gonna ramp up here with football. But right now, we just told you about guys not going to OTAs. I don't know what you expect us to tell you about people not going.
Oh, also, Michael Penix Jr. is out there
dropping
every time they show it. I'm like, I'm not getting excited, but he ain't missing. Him and Kirk Cousins out there looking good too now. He's looking good too.
One more thing. The Texans signed Nico Collins 3 years, $72.5 million. That's just more money for Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I don't understand why y'all coaches haven't figured that out yet. The sooner you pay the guys, the better off you are.
They pay
Cowboys, I want to see them pay CD and that. I want to see it. Spend all of your money. I'm ready to see Falcons. What decisions people really make.
Y'all might want to go ahead and try to extend Drake London now. Because if Kirk Cousins, one thing he's done
right now.
Kirk Cousins, one thing he's done is every receiver he's played with he will feed the number one receiver. Justin Jefferson, Pierre Garçon. You remember that out there in Washington?
Bro.
Stephon Diggs.
You trying to pay me off a Mariota season? I mean, what's his name? I forgot his name already.
Same person. Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter, Marcus Mariota. They're the same people.
You
They're
trying
the
to
same
pay
people.
Hey, bro, if you think you can pay me off a Desmond Ritter season, you need to get the hell away from me. The best thing you can do is just not say anything else to me, because anything past this, I'm gonna take as offense. No, see me at the end of next season, but I bet you I have 1,000, 1,500 yards.
He is that the Falcons' offense. You might want to pick, because I think Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson are about to have an insane season, because that's what Zach Taylor does. He feeds Puka Nacua. He fed what's his name? Cooper Kupp, and a running back, and Tyler Higbee. That's what they play. Boy, got them biker shorts on over there.
No,
got the thighs out.
I have appropriate length shorts on, and I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come. Oh man, I should be playing BBL Juice. We come to the end of episode 153 of the Splashcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for rocking with us again. Another fantastic episode. These shorts are regulation length. I would stand up, but I'm not, because I'm confident in my own personal masculinity. And Reggie want to play BBL Drizzy. Okay, funny man. I'm funny too now. But with that said, once again, always remember, like, follow, subscribe. Number one, more Black baseball. Number 2, more Black cowboys and cowgirls. And number 3, the historically Black college university your cousin went to, you went to, your auntie went to, your homegirl, whoever it may be. Send some money over there. The historically Black college university that you go to in your city for step shows, homecoming, to be around your people. Send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. Please send $18.68 on behalf of the year that we were founded. We truly appreciate it. Outside of that, we appreciate you guys. God is love.